Hi, everybody. We're back.
Weekend at Party Cheer. Thank you, Max. That's beautiful.
Sitting here with Tom Hanks, and you know, we have something in common besides international fame.
You're not part of this.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And no, we don't have international fame. But anyway, you love. I was reading an article, and it said that you love. You're very influenced by the old Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh yes, yeah.
And you love like the phrases and the sort of the comedy from those old cartoons.
Well, all of like the cartoons and television shows when I was going, even the radio, you couldn't swear. You know, the things you can say on the radio now are very different. So the salty language for us, cursing, were things like saying like, you know, Jeepers Creepers, or oh, for rice cake. Oh, for rice cake! You'd say that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in the Marlon Brando movie, The Appaloosa, he called somebody a gob of spit, which is like, ooh. you gob of spit. And I think that's an interesting, I mean, it is a horrible thing to call somebody. But it's not as bad as some things that you could probably call them now.
Well, I think those things, though, you get so desensitized now. You go and see a movie, and every other word is like this, this curse word. You become desensitized to them, so that when someone uses something like that, it actually makes you pay attention.
It does. I mean, like, for example, if you can use the term "oh-landy" now, just as well, and in any circumstance.
Oh-landy?
Oh-landy works just as well as the F word, the F four-letter word.
Don't know that word.
Oh-landy. I mean, to say it's like you're driving along and some guy cuts you. Oh, Landy! You could say that, you know, or oh, Landy. Or, you know, I hope I'm going to get some Landy tonight. You know, you can use it in any sort of form, you know, and I mean, how did curse words get started anyway? It's all connotations, so you can still work with it.
That'd be great if they actually beep all that tonight.
Would that be fabulous?
If we can get them to beep "oh-landy."
On Conan O'Brien
people at home would think, like, what happened to Tom Hanks? He flipped out.
Flipped out. Jeepers Creepers.
He said, I want to get some tonight.
Change the word. And then your kids will use the term knothead, and you'll wash their mouths out with, so what did you call your brother? I call him a knothead.
Did you ever get soap in the mouth? I'm the only guy I know in my generation who actually, my parents got some Dial soap and they put it in my mouth, and I didn't. It wasn't bad. I just liked it.
You know, I'd go with an Irish Spring. That has a nice kind of like the more delicate bouquet.
The creamy center. You read in a. That made no sense, yet it got a laugh.
Yeah.
I like my job.
I think the term creamy center is just always going to be a funny one.
Hey, it's yours now. You can have it. Make up for the movie thing.
That's right. Well, it's not salty language, is it? Or is a creamy center kind of salty? That's what I've heard, but never mind.
Oh, Landy! Hey, it works. I like "oh-landy." There's an article recently in the New Yorker that got a lot of attention because in it you started to look like you were playing with the idea of maybe running for an office of some kind at some point.
Yeah, this is, understand that this is utter nonsense. It's surreal. But I realized, now wait a minute. I'm internationally famous. As you've
Is that what you say to yourself every morning when you wake up?
No, I have my kids remind me. Now remember, Dad, you're internationally famous. So do us proud. Oh, Landy, I am. And you know what? Well, wait a minute. Now, maybe this might, I could, you know, it would be a terrible thing to happen to the political landscape, but I bet I could get some votes. And as a matter of fact, thank you. Thank you. Now, you know, I have no opinions about anything, and I have no policy, but nonetheless, I still think I think it's a good way to invest 8 months of my life. Now, the thing is, I need a running mate. You know, I just don't see it. But I think you have a name recognition that could go pretty good.
Really? You'd let me hitch my little wagon to your star?
You bet, you bet. Now, what we would need is, we'd need a slogan. And I think the best slogan for us would be something like, that has to be truthful. We can't lie to the American people. So I think a slogan like, as opposed to like peace and prosperity or something, I think we'd have to say something like, you'd be stupid to vote for us. which would
People
be true.
would hit a chord with
Well,
people.
I think they couldn't argue with it. They could not argue with that statement, and I think everybody would have to agree. I think it'd sail in the polls. And we would also need, obviously, a name for whatever kind of political party, because independent is jive, I-N-D, who cares?
Right.
We need like a name, and
Right.
it'd be best if it somehow represents who we are and how we are perceived by the public. And so I would say probably we could call it what? The bad haircut party or something like that. Because bad haircuts are usually the things that I have a good haircut for about 3 hours, and then my hair grows, and it becomes a bad haircut. And you have.
I'm kind of famous for having bad haircuts.
It's a bad haircut. So with the slogan, you'd be stupid to vote for us, and the name, the Bad Haircut Party, the only thing that's truly missing would be the emblem that every party has, and I think it would be something like this. You know, you'd be stupid to vote for us in the bad haircut party. Because, you know, they're always standing behind this on the thing. They're always like, this is always down there like that. And I'm going to say to you now that a vote for us would be a waste of your time and efforts, but nonetheless with you. And I think we draw 14% of the, I think we get 14%.
14%, that's pretty
down,
good.
I mean, anybody running for president or any office, you get 14% of anything.
Yeah.
So if I'm the head guy and you're the vice guy.
Would you really let me come along?
I think you should. I think it would be I think it would be a great addition to the ticket. I think we have a lot of stuff to say for America. So if you'll join me, Conan, let's make a run.
I'm in.
Let's go.
I want to do it.
Let's go.
The movie is You've Got Mail. It opens December 18th. Tom Hanks, everybody. Roger Daltrey coming up right now. He was done.
He wasn't even going to have the Twitter today.
We're back, everybody. All is well? Band playing?
I wish I could play the drums like Max Ryan. It looks so easy. Hey,
He'll teach you. Max will give you lessons.
$7 an hour.
That's right.
I can't afford it.
Now, this is exciting because, as you know, we're here together now, which I know is a big thrill for you. But we work together. Why would people laugh at that? Now, it's an angry crowd.
It's a big thrill.
Try and calm yourself. We work together.
Yes, we did. Well, that's why we're old friends. So
yes, we worked together, I think it was 11 years ago now.
We were trying to figure it out backstage. Saturday Night Live. I believe it was the 5th time I was able to host the show.
It was the 5th time, and there was a sketch called the Five Timers Club.
Right. Which was the first time the Five Timers Club appeared on the show.
Yeah, then they reran that idea.
A bunch of times.
But I was in that sketch.
It's funny. They told me that I said, really? Conan was in that sketch? Because the host has a lot of things he's got to keep track of when he's on the show. And I
Interesting.
So I'm interested in seeing the
It's my theory, Tom, that my performance here launched you. Those Oscars came after this.
After the
Everything
Five
came
Timers Club.
after this.
This is truth.
I think we should take a look at this great moment.
Fabulous.
Take a look.
Clip.
Welcome, Mr. Hanks. Once again, congratulations on your 5th appearance.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Would you like your club robe now?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Sean.
Sean.
Oh, wait. There you go.
Tom.
Congratulations.
Right there. Now, can I say, this is miraculous. I have not aged a day.
You have not aged today.
And yet you...
I hit puberty. Yeah. I was like 28 years old there. Hiya, Mr. Hanks.
You know, I think it was...
How are you?
I don't think it was 11 years ago. I think that was from 1958. I think that was from a long time ago.
I think that although it looks like I'm not doing a lot there, I think I'm doing quite a bit.
That was it. Actually, that was a good piece. Steve Martin showed up in that piece. John Lovitz.
Those were the days.
And believe it or not, you know who's in that piece? Ralph Nader is in that piece.
That's right. Ralph Nader plays a pivotal role.
He comes at the door and says, look, I've hosted this show once.
Right.
Ralph Nader ran for president.
I like how this became a civics lesson.
And I believe he almost won in a couple of states. They're still counting the thing. I'm sorry. It's like, why go back to that? You're
Why
right.
go back
You're
to that?
Right.
That's
You're
not
right.
right.
I'm sorry.
That's not right at all.
Spilled.
Are you enjoying? I mean, here it is Friday. We're almost at Christmas. We're close. You can taste it. You can taste Christmas, which sounds disgusting, but you can. We're getting that close. Are you feeling the Christmas spirit?
You know, I wish I did. It's look, I don't want to complain because I'm a lucky man, but to have a movie come out at the holiday season means you're pretty much riding that celebrity mule train for the month of December. And I have not been able to. I mean, I have not been able to shop. I've not been able to celebrate. I haven't gone to any of the parties that have been in the neighborhood. The whole Christmas thing seems to be bypassing me this year.
I think that's really sad.
I have something, but I don't know. It's like
I have an idea. What if I brought Christmas to you right now? Wouldn't that be nice if I brought Christmas to Tom?
But Conan, how? How could you bring Christmas to me? Are you some benevolent spirit of television?
It's so simple, Tom. I can do it easily. I'm a god. Let's start out. Let's have a little. Can we have, Max, a little Christmassy music? Maybe set the mood here for Tom. Isn't that nice? You feeling a little Christmas right now?
Sure. Yeah, you bet.
You don't seem convinced. What if we brought in a little bit of snow? Liz, a little bit of snow?
That sure says Christmas.
Yeah,
Tom.
isn't that great? And look,
Yeah,
Tom,
that's
look what I
great.
got you. I got you a big present. Look at that.
This is for me, huh?
This is for you.
Oh, that's nice.
This is from me to you. Check this out.
Oh, it's beautiful, Conan. It's a skeleton.
It's Hooch, everybody. That's Hooch.
It's great.
Thought you'd like to have Hooch back in your life?
It's great to have a skeleton of one of my old co-stars.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then I thought maybe what I should do to really set the mood is sing you a little Christmas song. How about it? Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, Tom Hanks' troubles will be out of sight.
Conan, have yourself a merry little. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. So have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Tom Hanks, everybody. There's no one better. Kelly Ripa coming up. We'll take a... Everybody, we are back. My first guest tonight has won 2 Academy Awards. Starting this Friday, you can see him in Road to Perdition. Please welcome Mr. Tom Hanks. That's nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's... What about it? It's, Please, that's getting embarrassing. What was that? Are you all right?
Trying to deal with it.
Yeah, you're trying to deal with all that love.
I was watching Max. I was peeking through the curtain to see Max play the drums.
Oh.
Like frying eggs up there, Max. Just frying eggs. Just frying the eggs.
That's some cool jazz term I never heard. Check out that guy frying up them eggs.
I've actually met professional drummers and tried to use that, hoping that it would catch on. Never does.
Never does?
What are you talking about? You would like frying eggs. So it never works out that way.
Let's try and get that going. It's occurring to me right now that there's a lot more money in being a Tom Hanks lookalike than there is in a Conan O'Brien lookalike.
Well,
don't you think?
Have they really found one? I think that's the case. Most of them are working at 7-Elevens, and where I should be.
It's a good thing for them. You know, the studio was kind enough to arrange this screening of Road to Perdition for me. 10 o'clock this morning, I see the movie, and I really loved it. This is a great movie.
Thank you.
Yes, you should be very happy.
Did you get in cheaper? Was there a 10 o'clock price? Like if you bring the cleaning crew a Starbucks, you get in to see the movie.
Something like that.
It's like
yeah.
that cheap.
That's pretty much how I go. But it's, you know, I'm looking at this and I thought I think I've seen every movie you've ever done. I've never seen you play anybody like this. You're playing. This is a hard man. This is a tough guy.
Yeah, he's got a tough job. Yeah.
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 Which appeals to one guy in the audience.
You know, you haven't seen it, but he is an enforcer, so he beats people up and he scares people, and occasionally he rubs them out, he kills them.
And you know, you pull it off, because if someone described to me that you were going to play that guy, I'd think, I don't know if he's such a likable man, Tom Hanks.
Well,
and
no,
then I see you do this, and you're...
You know, I've killed people in other films.
Who have you killed in other films?
You know, I killed Nazis in Saving Private Ryan.
True.
And
True. Yeah. True.
Well, you know what they say? The only good Nazi. Never mind. Like there are good ones.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And I believe, I'm not sure, I have to see the movie again, but I think I killed the guy who shot Hooch. I'm not sure. Maybe I just winged it.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I know the guy who shot Hooch made me really, really mad. So
I don't even remember that, but I'm sure it went something like, Hooch, no!
Come on now. You know, this, I got to tell you, I myself rag on the Hoochie Pooch quite a bit, but I worked so hard on that. We all worked so hard on that movie. It's actually good stuff in there.
It's good film. This is an opportunity, I would think, for you in this movie to do that classic 30s gangster talk that we all saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of...
Maybe I was hoping that it would literally be written out phonetically in the script like that. Right. Says you, huh? But it wasn't. We were just talking like kind of current vernacular as opposed to what's up? I'll tell you what's up. What I say is up is what's up. Don't you mess with me.
Yeah. Now, see here, you.
See, you know, in those early 30 movies before sound was truly, like, developed, they would have, like, the microphone in a pot of flowers or in like a ham. So there's always Rico leaning over like this over a table saying, I'm going to tell you something, kid, because that's where the mic was, you see. Mother of mercy.
You work with Paul Newman.
Yes, I do.
And there aren't many people that you can say are true icons. They throw that word around sometimes, and then they overdo it. They say someone's an icon.
Yeah, and Paul would hate to be labeled as he doesn't want to like get in anybody's way or be anything other than just a guy. But yeah, I mean, it's astounding. I mean, I remember going to see this Hombre. This is a movie. Paul Newman is Hombre. It was this fat. I was like 8 years old when I saw this movie. And it was incredible. It was Richard Boone is in it. Hombre is this taciturn half-breed Indian, you know, half Apache, half not Apache, and...
That's on his driver's license, not Apache.
Not Apache. It's actually a thing you check on the census, you know. Are you Apache? Not Apache. And it was one of those movies is a Saturday thing that stuck with you. So when I met Paul, at the first opportunity, I mentioned Hombre. And I was talking to her about 15 minutes before I realized I was literally channeling myself from the age of 8 to Paul. You know, I said, you were so great in that movie, Hombre. I went and saw that movie, Hombre, and you were so great. The way you're up in the mountain, you came down, you shot Richard Boone like that. That was so great when you did that. You shot that guy right in the head, and he came down and threw a rock at it. It was so great. And I was so embarrassed.
And to make it worse, you were holding a giant lollipop.
I did. I had a big sucker and, you know, some candy corn in my teeth, like, you know, like Dracula teeth. You know.
That guy, you know, his hobby, I guess, I don't know the man, but his hobby is car racing.
Loves car racing.
And he takes it really seriously, doesn't he?
He does it at every opportunity, and he talks about it at every opportunity. And we were around one day, and he had just come back from someplace. He hadn't worked for a few days. Oh, you got it. You got to come see me. You got to come see me driving this monster truck. I got it on cassette. You got to see it. I said, Paul, I would love to see a tape of you driving a monster truck. So we went into his trailer, and he popped the VCR there and scratched it. Then all of a sudden, there was this monster truck, the CONAN. The biggest truck you ever did see is sitting down in the middle of like an oval, and here is this little tiny figure in a flame retardant suit walking towards the monster truck. And Paul said, "That's me," he said. Oh, there you are. Kind of like did that shaky zoom in, and sure, there's Paul kind of like walking across the thing, and he climbs up into this monster truck, and then the tape cuts, and then you just see this monster truck driving around. Isn't it great, says Paul. That's me driving the monster truck right now. In this big truck, going around. It's got the big balloon tires, and when it's done, you say, "So, Paul, what was it like in that monster truck, Paul?" "Oh, it was great. They had big wheels, and you're way up high, that little thing. And you shifted it, handled like a son of a gun, I tell you. It was great." And then that was it. Kind of wandered off, shaking my head, saying, Paul loved driving that monster truck. That was it. Didn't race it. He just kind of like drove
just in a circle until it ran out of gas.
I said, didn't like run over another monster truck? Did you do whatever monster trucks do? Did you haul a sled through mud with it or something? No, I just drove the son of a gun. I drove it well.
We have a clip from Road to Perdition, and I want to make sure we get to this because I do like this film so much. What do we need to know about this clip?
This is in order to get attention, myself and my son, in order to get the bad guys to come after us, because we're bad guys, but they're worser guys, and we go to steal their money out of the banks, and I think this is the first or second time we try to steal the money out of the bank.
Let's take a look at this clip from Road to Perdition.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting another deposit until the end of the month.
Actually, I'm making a withdrawal. I want dirty money only. Everything you're holding for Capone, that's off the books. Open the safe.
You're insane. You know they'll find out who you are.
The name's Sullivan. You want me to spell it? Open the box.
They'll kill you. They're animals.
You don't say. Put it in. Yeah. That's for you. Call it a handling charge. Tell Chicago I took it. But if I read about this in the papers, if I read about the savings of some innocent farmers being wiped out by a heartless bank robber, I won't be happy. Good afternoon.
You really trust me not to say anything?
Always trust a bank manager.
The film also looks great. The cinematography's great.
Conrad Hall is a cinematographer, and it's not even a nice man. He's just a fabulous artist. It was a great set to walk onto every day.
You had recently an AFI, American Film Institute, paid tribute to you.
Yes, they did.
Which is, you're still a young actor, but they paid tribute to a lifetime of work.
I think they chopped off lifetime just to make it Life Achievement Award.
Okay. Yeah, and they showed clips from all your stuff, and I thought, you know, this man, Tom Hanks, has been good to us. I would love to honor him in the same way by showing clips of all your work. We looked into it. It's really expensive. So I said, all right, we still got to honor him. What if we just show clips of his appearances on this show? All his appearances.
That would be magnificent.
You've only been on 2 times.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So then we thought, what if we show, this is your 3rd now, but we can't show a clip of that, because they can't literally, you'll see.
I understand.
So I thought what we'll do is we'll show clips of your 2 appearances and then pad it out with other guys named Tom who've been on the show. Well, take a look at this fine tribute to you right now. Enjoy.
All right.
You are so beautiful.
right back. I do. We are back. I'm fortunate to be sitting here with...
I have my eggs over Weinberg. That's how I'm going to take my eggs from
That
now.
will never catch
Eggs over
on.
Weinberg.
I don't care what you say. You are I'm just guessing from some of the project you've chosen to do, Apollo 13, From the Earth to the Moon, that you are a space buff.
Yes, indeed, sir.
And I'm interrogating you.
I treat you with far too much respect.
Yeah,
I realize
exactly.
this.
I'm not used to this.
That's the way I was raised.
Yeah.
My mom always slapped my hand. Said the man on the other side of the microphone is to be called sir. Wow. So that's that.
You're the only one that's decided to take up that.
That means every time I go into Jack in the Box, I'm asking for fries, please, sir.
And they're like, hold on, Hanks. Wait your turn.
Yeah.
Well, now there's this thing in the media. Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Yes,
I know you're a fan.
Right. Those guys got pipes,
they
man.
rock,
They work hard.
He is going to go into space, he says?
Yeah, they got to pay money and go over there and train.
In Russia?
In Russia. It's not an easy gig, like 6 months over there training.
And there's talk that Cindy Crawford,
she's in. She's going. you know that, there's Russian guys over there. I will zip her into the suit, she doesn't have to train. You say da, say niet, that's all your training you need. Off you go. But it's not I've actually been there. I was over there on when we made Castaway in Moscow, and I took my support team, my sycophants, my posse.
Right.
To Star City. Guess what? We're going to go to Russia's Star City. And, great. So we went out and saw it. And I actually sat in the mock-up, the training mock-up, that Lance and Cindy and I guess like Dennis Tito, who actually is the American that flew up, paid a bunch of money, was a businessman.
Paid a lot of money, yeah.
But he also has a name that sounds like a Russian astronaut anyway. Dennis Tito is going up there.
That's where he got the idea.
It's like a NASA joke that is lost. Not even the band is laughing at that joke.
They're still figuring out the frying up eggs remark.
You have to... you can only be so tall. It's a small, cramped place. It is so tiny. It's not just small for one person, small for three. You're literally like laying in there like that. So I don't know how tall Lance is. I don't know how tall Cindy is, but there is a height requirement. You can't be too tall. You could not go, sir.
Or my lookalike could definitely not go.
No.
Although I'm going to try and get him to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, people might want to send him. I'm sure he's a nice man.
Yeah.
A little creepy.
Are you... would you be willing, what if they came to you, what if NASA came to you and said, we've never done this before, but would be willing to send you, Tom Hanks, up into space? Would you do it?
If they came to me and said, we want to run some experiments on human beings, Tom, to find out if pain still hurts in outer space, I would do it. I would anything to experience the glorious free fall of zero gravity. If they said, here's what we're going to do, we're going to put staples in your head one at a time, and you tell us how hard it hurts, and then we're going to stick a needle in your eye just to see if on the 19th orbit it will still cause you pain. I would still say, I'm right there. Let's go.
You would do it?
I would do it in a moment.
Just to feel that, to have that feeling of floating? Is that what you want?
To float and look down here on Mother Earth, I would there she is. She's beautiful. There are no borders, you see. I would definitely do it. I mean,
yeah, you get emotional.
I would. I get very emotional.
Well, we actually we have a bit of a surprise for you. We know it's your birthday.
Today is my birthday.
Today is... Very nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is exciting. Donald Rum's...
Okay. Speed it up. Speed it up.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, love that.
Yes, nice. That was nice.
Thank you, buddy.
We didn't have time for that. I always lose my cool over inappropriate things.
Conan, they can't help their love for me.
Well, we decided...
Very nice. Thank you.
Let's get it out here. We decided to give, we at the show want to give Tom Hanks a little birthday present. Can we get this out here? And this is to incorporate two of your favorite interests, your love of space and your love of World War II.
Yeah.
You're a World War II buff.
I
So
love
we
that,
had
yes.
a painting commissioned of astronauts storming the beach at D-Day. Happy birthday. A lot going on there. Those are some busy guys. This is for
I'm
you.
telling you, man, what a day in history that was, Conan. That was,
The year was 1973.
it was like, that's one small step. Oh, man.
Well, that's yours, and I hope that's hanging in the
That's
hallway
hanging.
at your home.
Let me tell you, with pride.
The movie is Road to Perdition. I can't say enough good about the film, and you know what? It's always a real honor to have you here. Thank you very much for being here. Tom Hanks, Paul Westerberg coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
All right, well, I got to mention this, folks. For a while now, we've been doing a segment on our program called Frankenstein Wastes a Minute of Our Time. And in this segment, Frankenstein comes out here, acts as if he has something really cool to show us. He's very excited, but he always ends up showing us something trivial and stupid that's a complete waste of time and not at all exciting. Well, tonight, Frankenstein has promised me, given me his word, that he really does have something amazing to show us, something pretty cool and electric. He claims it's fantastic. So I'm going to believe him. Let's get him out here and have Frankenstein waste a minute of our time. Hi, Frankenstein. Are you ready to waste a minute of our time? Okay. Are you promise you have something really exciting to show us this time? Great. Then Frankenstein, show us what you've got. Okay. He's headed backstage. He's back behind. He's headed. Okay. Look, he's headed back through the. That's the sort of props area, backstage area, past where the music loads in. He's headed back towards, those are sort of where the dressing rooms are. I don't know where he's going. And it's headed for, that guy's, oh my God, look, it's Tom Hanks. What? No, Frankenstein, no, you want Tom, no, Frankenstein, stop it. We don't want to see a light switch. What? Huh? Oh yeah, oh look, go. Well, that's exciting. Oh, good. Well, oh, you're right. You guys are right. That is pretty exciting. Thank you very much to Tom Hanks and to Frankenstein. Very nice. Very well done. We'll take a break when we come back. Jennifer loves you. I agree. That was a great show. All right, everybody, my first guest is a two-time Academy Award winner. You can see him tomorrow in the Steven Spielberg movie, The Terminal. Please welcome Tom Hanks. That's what it's all about.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, see, isn't that nice? I tell you, I pumped them up for you. That's what I did. They were very unenthusiastic about this.
I just want to keep the numbers up, man. I don't want some next executive saying, what are the numbers on Conan? What happened after the monologue?
Well, that's what happens, and then we get them back with Tom Hanks.
The truth is, it doesn't matter who's on your show. No one is sitting at home saying, I might watch Conan. Like the lady who called.
Right.
It's just Conan, 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 as far as I'm concerned. Well, wait.
Well, then,
Conan, And Max.
And Max, yes. That's very nice. Wow.
Because the drummer is the backbone of any late-night TV show. You know that.
Yes, I do. I do know that. Although I don't know who the drummers are on some of them.
Ed Shaughnessy.
Yes, that's right, the Carson's drummer.
Who, I think actually Merv played drums himself on his own show.
Yes.
Merv Griffin.
Who's the drummer
We
on,
are so
on The
old that
View?
we're
Yeah,
making
I
that-
know. Yeah.
Merv Griffin.
Yeah.
Merv Griffin.
Who's that? That's a cookie you can buy. There's so much to talk about. First of all, The Terminal. I loved you in this movie. You have... it's incredible. It must be hard for an actor so well known as you to so completely become a different character and make it believable. But you do it. I believe that you're this foreign guy who's from the country of Cracovia?
Yeah, Krakozhia.
Cracovia, that's right.
Krakozhia, yeah. It's a fictitious country. I know a lot of you are pulling out your pocket atlases right now. No need to look under K. It's not there. So, well, I got Korea, but where's the... It's not
Right,
in there. It's,
right.
We made it up, and it's a former Soviet republic. That's the only thing it had to be. Is it like... It's a VIA country,
Yeah.
or an IA country. Any name with IA on the Yugoslavia, Latvia, Lithuania.
What a sophisticated system.
Poland, you know, yeah, it was just somewhere in there.
So at the UN, they just go, you EA countries, go over there. That's where the...
That's, yeah, and they all have like goofy flags with wheat on them, you know. They have a lot of like shots of
Yeah,
wheat.
it's an important for them, the wheat. Now, did you use, because your accent is so authentic to me, who knows nothing, but I believed it. Did you use a dialect coach?
Yes, I have a dialect coach I use regularly. I've used her on Jessica is her name. I've worked with Jessica Drake. I've used her on many films. And it's no magic trick to it. You sit there, and it's not unlike Spanish in junior high school. You just sit there with headphones on, and you say, "En la biblioteca." Mm-hmm. En la biblioteca. In lab, you know, that's all it is. You just do it over and over again, and Jessica baps me. But there was also Peter, Peter Paveski, who was from Bulgaria, and he kept me up on the vernacular of some of the things that people in the old country would say and do.
So you could go to him and say, you know, I'm really interested in how I play this scene.
Right.
What might I say?
Like, in fact, there was a moment where I kind of unveil this thing that I've been working for, and so I went to Peter and I said, what do you do in the old country when you really want to make a big deal about something you made? Like, you're going to say, here it is, I've been working on it, I'm presenting it to you now, it's a big surprise. What do you say when you unveil it? And he said, I must think about this. Let me come back to you. And then we'd work, and he came 2 hours later, he says, I know what you're going for. We have a tradition in our country when we want to unveil something for the first time to impress everyone and to surprise them. We go like this. As we pull the cover off, we say, da-da-da-da-da-da. Wow, absolutely true.
Thank you.
So it's like... The charge fanfare is what you're talking about.
Wow, wow.
I was expecting to say, and then sometimes we also go, da, 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 da. He's a very, very sweet guy, and he helped me out quite a bit.
Uh-huh. Now, I don't know, talking about playing a foreign role, I heard that you once said that you'd like to, your dream would be to play James Bond.
Well, that's the coolest role in the world, isn't it?
British spy James Bond.
It would be great. It would cause riots.
Why?
Well, in England, they don't, you know, they're not going to have some guy from America play James Bond.
Right.
That's why they always cast Americans in the worst role in all the James Bond movies. Felix Leiter. There's always some guy, oh, Felix, my old counterpart from the CIA. And it's always some different actor, you know.
Right.
Sometimes it's a black guy, sometimes it's, you know, it's just some guy.
Interchangeable.
Interchangeable Felix Leiter, who is always standing on the submarine at the end of the movie while James Bond is making out with Halle Berry.
Right.
You know? James, you did it again. I mean, that's the only thing.
It's such a lame part.
Come back and get me in 15 minutes, Felix. You know, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much all it is.
Yeah, yeah. No, so
I don't want that part.
You're not going to play that part?
No, or the bad guy.
The bad guy would be a great part to
because
play.
the bad guy always has this line that he says to James Bond. Before I kill you, Mr. Bond, perhaps you'd like a tour of our installations.
Yeah.
Notice the ventilator shafts, wide enough for a man to crawl through.
Right, right.
Unfortunately, you will not have that opportunity, Mr. Bond. 15 minutes later, there he is, crawling through, you know.
Gotta go, gotta look
Not
around.
interested. Not interested.
Well, we have a lot to talk about still.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to take a little break right now. We'll have more with Tom Hanks in just a second. Stick around. We're back.
We're back. Weinberg, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to ask you something about your past. Your father was in the restaurant business.
Yeah, my dad was in the restaurants business, and
did he want you? Did he want you to be in that same business?
Oh, good Lord, yeah. He viewed it as there's no reason for any of his offspring not to slave away forever. In the restaurant business. There was one day in high school, I lived on this sounds really cool, I lived on a houseboat when I was in high school.
Right.
It sounds really cool, but essentially you're living in an apartment where absolutely nothing works.
Right.
The shower was like this little trickle of lukewarm water and there was no heat. But I was taking a shower one morning and I heard my dad get up and he came in and the door to the bathroom like ripped off its hinges and the shower curtain was thrown back and I'm standing there naked with this trickle of water coming down. My dad says, "They're hiring down at the Taco Bell." Now listen, I love Taco Bell. It's a fine product, and the people who work there work really hard.
Yes.
But yeah. And pretty much have to say
the
that.
guy eating out of the bag of Taco Bell.
And I said, "Dad, why would I want to work at the Taco Bell?" Right. And he said, "Oh, for crap! Any nuthead can make assistant manager in 6 months." I said, "Hey, Dad, thanks for the vote of confidence that you think I'm a knothead that could become the assistant manager of the Taco Bell." So I didn't take it up.
Did he use that? I don't hear the term knothead that often.
Oh, yeah.
I love knothead.
My dad had, his favorite words were knothead, oaf. That was a good one. OAF, literally, OA. You oaf. He'd actually call me that. What's the matter, you oaf?
Even though you're very slender, agile.
I'm not clumsy. He called me a gold brick sometimes. So it's like my dad learned his vocabulary from McHale's Navy. Anything McHale's Navy he
Binghamton, yeah.
But it's hard to get really mad at an 8-year-old kid. So it's an oaf and a knothead and a gold brick.
Now, you've been on the show before. You were here promoting Apollo 13 once. You came on the program, and I think I really helped that picture out with getting the word out.
So you're key to every marketing strategy in Hollywood, Conan.
I really. You also you were very much involved in from the Earth to the Moon series on
yes,
HBO.
For HBO. Yes.
When did this passion for space begin? Were you passionate about this when you were young?
Well, I was, because I just thought it was very, very cool and glamorous to do things like go into outer space and like do a spacewalk. So much so. We had now on the West Coast we had these things called doughboy pools. You'd call them an above ground pool here on the East Coast, but Doughboy made them. So there was always like it's aluminum with a liner in it. You fill it up with water, and about 3 weeks later the bugs start growing in it. But for 3 weeks you could actually swim in it like it's a swimming pool. So I would go out and have my own simulated spacewalks in the Doughboy pool.
How does that work?
Well, what you do, you wear baggy shorts, cutoffs, and you put a brick right in the back of your butt. So that will hold you on the bottom of the pool, but all your limbs will then float up like this. And in order to breathe, you get a garden hose, and you put it over the side, and you stick the garden hose in your mouth. And then I would wear a pair of literally, you get them from Ben Frank's that cost like 99-cent swimming goggles that was just a hard rubber with a plate of plastic on it. So I sit there, and under 3 feet, the pressure actually pushes that against your face. So I'd be down there with this thing on my face and a garden hose in my mouth, and I would be pretending to walk in space. Now, it works great.
There's a word for that guy.
Well,
knothead.
Knothead, yeah. It always worked great till it was time for dinner, because my mom would say, "Oh, Larry, go out and get your brother out of the pool off his spacewalk. It's time for dinner." And he would go out there and essentially get the garden hose and put a crimp in it. So I'm down there like that all the time. And it is very hard to get a brick out of your pants when you're fighting for your life on the bottom of a of a three-foot swimming pool.
That would be the worst. If God forbid something happened to you, that'd be the most embarrassing way to go.
It would be bad, but what a hilarious little snippet of newspaper you'd have to put on. Hey, we see this from the Red Bluff Daily News. Child drowns with brick in bottom of pants. And I can't tell you
That would be a Jay Leno clip he'd show on his show.
Hey, look, he's got a brick in his pants.
And but I can't tell you how many hours I spent at the bottom of the pool like that. I think I actually took like comic books in there and just sit there and float and read them, you know, because I just love the free fall of the zero gravity.
Sure. Now, were you into science fiction? Did you like, for example, did you like Star Trek?
Oh yeah, I set the clock by Star Trek. That was on at 6 o'clock on Channel 2. In Oakland, and yeah, I much like, you know, like when you meet like, say, like the Beatles, or you meet when you get famous, you meet like the baseball team, you like sort of collect the moments when you meet
the people.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And I've met, I saw Jimmy Doohan, who played Scotty. Thank you very much. I saw him in a play in San Francisco in 1975. He was in a play called The Trial of James McNeill Whistler. And we're actually in the audience going, you think he has a tricorder in his dressing room? You know, it's an actor up there. But I met Leonard Nimoy, and I've worked with Bill Shatner for some Shakespeare benefits.
Now, you know, Bill Shatner takes some heat sometimes from the other, you know, Star Trek or from the Trekkies. Sometimes they think it's all gone to his head or that he's difficult.
Dude, he played James Kirk.
Yeah.
He was the captain of the Starship Enterprise.
He was the captain.
All right? I mean, you know, I didn't see Sulu down on that planet making a cannon out of bamboo to kill that dinosaur guy. That was James Kirk.
Yeah.
You didn't see like Chekhov like outwitting the gamesters of Triskelion. That was James Tiberius Kirk, who was in fact the narrator of the whole show.
You're right.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
I stand corrected.
What? Can you imagine if Bones McCoy had narrated that show? I'm just a simple country doctor.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Here I am with my life forms and my little whirling salt shaker that tells me what's wrong with people.
Now, did you ever meet Sulu? Did you meet Sulu?
I don't think I've ever met
George Takei.
George Takei.
I met George Takei.
Really?
I talked to him on the phone.
Wouldn't you love to have his pipes?
I called him up because...
He's got a voice way down here.
He's got this
cars, Captain.
He's got this voice right here.
I'd love to have
he talks like that. And I called him up because we wanted him to do a voice on The Simpsons, and I called him up, and he just was like, no, I'm not doing it. It makes fun of monorails, and I'm in charge of transportation in San Francisco, so screw yourself. And then hung up. I couldn't believe it. What the hell was that all about?
What? Well, you're such a big shot, everybody's going to drop what they're doing and come do you a favor?
I know, this was 12 years ago, too.
Well, come on, man. The guy, sorry, he got a life while you're still in show business. What a shame. What a shame.
Everything I've said so far, wrong. I still have so much anger towards Sulu.
I know.
And I wanted to work it out using your valuable time. You've
Well,
got things to do, international movie star, and I'm like, no, we got to talk about Sulu and how he screwed me.
Listen, I still got something about that guy with that big ear that's saying, come to Eden, brother. He still gives me the willies, man.
Come to
that
Eden.
Dude, don't say it, don't say it.
Yeah,
Gives
all
me
right.
bad dreams.
Oh, so suddenly you're too important to like that guy? All right, I'm sorry.
Turnabout is fair play.
Exactly.
Turnabout is fair play.
We have a clip from the terminal. And I'd like you to tell us a little something so that we understand. Do you know which one this is?
I think this is when some of the friends in the airport suspect me of being like a spy or something like that, and they want to be sure that I'm not wearing any like radio detection recording devices.
And the movie, it's an amazing premise, which I think is based on something on a true story of someone who basically had to live at an airport.
Well, there's a man in France who chooses to live at the airport. He's lived at the airport for 16 years. He got out for a while and said, "Screw this, I'm moving back to the airport." And he still lives in the airport.
Right, and your character, of course, trapped in the airport.
Trapped in the airport and can't get out. And this is how they show that doesn't have a recording tape recorder on him. He's not wearing a wire.
Not wearing a wire. Let's take a look at this clip from the terminal.
Okay, so you are clean.
Good. Let's play cards.
I will have money, but Friday.
Don't worry about it, Victor. We don't play for cash. We play for unclaimed items from the lost and found.
You'll be amazed at what people leave at airports. Come.
I have 2 9s and 2 9s.
Oh.
4 nuts.
Four
Thank
nine.
you.
4 9. Wow.
Careful, careful. What did you get? I hope you kept that fish.
Here's the clip right there.
The Indian gentleman's hilarious,
Oh, he's
too.
marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kumar. Kumar plays a Gupta. He's the sweetest man on the planet Earth. He's a professional plate spinner.
I saw that. You get to see that in the movies.
Get him on. I'm not trying to book your show or anything, but that dude can spin plates like a son of a bitch. So
Please,
you better get it.
please book my show. The Terminal opens tomorrow night. Tom Hanks, always an honor. Thank you very much. You're the nicest people in the world. Sam Moore, Carl Thomas, coming up. We'll take a break. Time tonight. Before we go any further, we do want to thank everyone who helped us out with that last piece. We just met them this second. Katrina Dixon, Pamela J. Smith from Brooklyn. Thank you very much, ladies. Very nice. Also, our thanks to Abe Vigoda and Mr. John Voight. So thanks to everybody who helped us out. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. My first guest tonight is a 2-time Academy Award-winning actor. You don't get to say that often. Beginning May 19th, you can see him in the highly anticipated movie, The Da Vinci Code. Please welcome Tom Hanks.
Into that bit, huh?
Yeah.
So back you go. you just, all show business is a lie.
The minute the bit's over, it's like, get out of those chairs.
Back up in your own seats.
Yeah.
So much for the Barcalounges have to be back by 6:30 or something like that. So.
Yeah, the Sharper Image said you can have them for 20 minutes. Thanks so much for being here.
It's always a pleasure, Mr. Conan.
Thank you. Oh, you're pronouncing it like Regis now. Regis calls me Conan.
Conan.
I'm honored. I'm honored.
Well, your brother's name, you have brother's name like Thor or something like that?
Thor is my brother.
Thor O'Brien.
Yeah,
Loki.
yeah.
Oh, he's your half-brother.
Loki's my half-brother, yeah. Lothar, Ormbar. No, they all got, mostly people got pretty normal names. And then I think I came along, they got liquored up, and they're like, Conan.
Conan, how about that? It was supposed to be Nanko, but the nurse got it screwed up on it.
Nanko O'Brien.
That would be fun.
It was just Nank O'Brien, and they got, I took it too far. Occupational hazard. Now you're leaving.
No, I'm done with you.
It'd be great if you just stood up and walked out.
I'm done. I'm finished.
People would talk about that forever. Now, first of all, I want to comment on you. You look terrific. You look terrific, but you're doing something different. This is not the Tom Hanks hair that I've known over the years.
What does this look like? I mean, the Tom Hanks hair was essentially a bush. It was either small or bushier. That's all it was.
Well, this is fun. We were thinking about it today, and we were looking at all these pictures of you from the last couple of weeks walking around, and we realized your hair looks exactly like Prime Minister of Japan Koizumi's hair. Have you seen this? Check this out. You have the exact same hair.
There you go.
And I'm told that you in fact have noticed this.
I noticed it. Not only that, I was able to talk to the man about it. I was in Japan a few weeks ago, and a meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan was brokered.
This is incredible.
They said, listen, I was going over to promote the Da Vinci Code, and they said, would you like to meet the Prime Minister of Japan? I said, you're asking me to meet a world leader? Sure, I'll meet him. Huh? And I was telling everybody, guess who I'm going to meet when I'm in Japan? Prime Minister of Japan.
You didn't even bother to learn his name.
I figured it out when I got there, but then they said, but then I realized, well, wait a minute, this sounds fishy to me. Is this some sort of like studio ploy? Like they told me he really wanted to meet me, and then somebody told him that I really wanted to meet, like as a bad, like, yaya, matchmaking kind of thing.
Right.
But then they said, no, it's a very organic thing. So I'm in Japan, and I put on a suit, and it's a big deal, and you go over to the Prime Minister's office, and he comes in, and he looks like a lion with that beautiful mane of hair.
Yeah.
And the first thing he says to me is, you change your hair. That's the first thing he said to me. speaks very good English, and I said I was actually trying to look like you. I turned it into a bit, and it was really funny.
Right.
And then we got down to talking about tariffs and outsourcing, and I helped him out with a couple of things.
You're
for
very, I
Japan.
didn't realize you have you're working on all these different levels.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah.
You know, I'm curious because I don't know if you had this problem. I went to Finland not too long ago, and I got a meeting with the president of Finland.
The doppelganger.
And, yes.
What's her name?
Her name is Tarja Halonen.
Of course, you look like a woman who runs a country. I'm sure that I look like a guy. I have the same haircut as a guy who runs a country. Is it because...
There'll be no movie clip tonight. There'll be no movie clip.
Maybe because you're just as stacked as she is, or something like that.
I have a nice
Man.
It is chilling.
That is astounding.
It is astounding. We met each other in the presidential palace, and we were doing the mirror game for a while.
Oh, like Harpo and Lucy.
Harpo and Lucy, yeah.
Nice.
Now, I'm curious.
Did you take her a gift?
This is the thing. All the reporters in that country, reporters were following me everywhere because it was a big deal in Finland, and they were saying, what are you going to bring? What will you bring to Tarja Halonen? What will you bring? What will you bring? And so there was all this pressure. It turned out to be Valentine's Day, so I just got her a heart-shaped box of chocolates, and I got away with everyone was like, "Oh,
that's sweet."
But it's a lot of pressure. Did you have to bring a gift?
Evidently, it's protocol in a lot of nations, and I said, well, how much should we spend? And they said, well, it's between a gift to a head of state should be between $25 and $60,000.
Well, I know where I am on the
slide. Not my time. Whatever you guys want to do. I suggested Tupperware.
Right.
Who can't use a nice set of Tupperware?
It's always good. It's always good.
Or like a new cell phone. I figured the Prime Minister of Japan might not have the latest Japanese cell phone. But someone from the studio said, someone in the lower echelon of the studio said, your character, Robert Langdon, in the book, wears a Mickey Mouse watch. So let's give him a Robert Langdon Da Vinci Code Mickey Mouse watch. I said, great, we're all done. But then someone in the hierarchy, higher up in Sony Pictures said, let me get this straight. We have spent all this money, not only on the movie, but also to send little Tommy over to Japan, and we're going to give the Prime Minister a watch with a licensed Walt Disney character on it.
Yeah.
That might be a mixed message. So we ended up just giving him a book.
A book?
Of the Da Vinci Code, and I signed to Prime Minister Ramirez. Oh, my God.
Even then, you couldn't learn his name.
Fujimori is the man's name. And he's almost out of office, so he's very loose.
Yeah. He's happy.
We had, as soon as the main press, we had a Chuggin' Sapporo competition. That's what it was. We popped those biggies.
This is you're living the life. This is fantastic.
Oh, it's the greatest thing that could ever happen to a boy.
Now let me ask you about something. I want to ask you, we have to go to commercial in just a second, but I want to ask you about something. There was all these rumors get started on the web, and I have to ask you because you're here. You'd made an appearance on the Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
And asked your name, and you walk out, and they play the theme from Forrest Gump, and you walk out, and it looked like you were angry about something, and a lot of people on the web said it looked like you were swearing angrily as you walked out onto the Oscars, and then...
These people must get a life. They have too much to pay attention to.
Well, can I show the clip?
Well, sure, yeah.
And it looks like you're mad that they're playing the Forrest Gump theme.
Why would I be mad?
Look at this clip. Look at this clip.
All right. That's the first time I've seen that.
The first time you see it, you got to admit, it doesn't look good. It looks like someone just backed into your car.
I was doing a goof with Jon Stewart, because I had taped a thing and he was walking off. So I was doing a fake thing. You get off the stage, you bet. I wasn't mad about it. It was pretend. Why would I be mad? What are they supposed to play? I'm mad about playing the theme of Forrest Gump. What are they supposed to play? My Life from Billy Joel, the Bosom Buddies theme?
It's good to know you weren't angry. It's good to know that you weren't angry. We wanted to dispel that rumor.
That score won an Academy Award. That's what they're going to play.
Okay. So get it through your heads. He wasn't mad about the Forrest Gump theme. We have a lot more to talk about. We'll take a quick commercial break. More with Tom Hanks after this. Tom Hanks. Now let's talk. I've known you. I actually met you years ago when I was a writer at Saturday Night Live. We've known each other a long time, and I'm not coming on to you. You are a
not like you used to.
That was a phase I went through.
We all do in show business. I dealt with it.
Yeah. You're a very attractive fellow. You're a nice-looking guy, but I hear that you don't feel that that's true.
Oh, well, look. It all depends on what side you're coming at me from, because I have two sides.
Yes.
I mean, everybody sort of does. I have two sides of my face. If you come to me from this side,
right,
you will see a very nice-looking guy. But if you come to me from this side, he's not so good-looking and he's not so nice.
And this is the thing that happens in show business, where you look at your face a lot because you're in movies, and you've noticed
say,
this.
well, what's your good side? I say, I don't know. And then somebody shows it to me and say, oh, without a doubt, okay.
Okay, let's look at this side.
I'll show you. This is my good side.
Okay.
This is, thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. This is a good historical straight man, like Richard Widmark,
right.
movie straight man, okay? Now I'm just going to show you the transformation. I come around here. Now this is me. This is Tom Hanks right here.
Right.
But now, so you got, thank you, Richard Widmark.
Yes.
Me, and look what happens. Look what happens. Uh-oh. Richard Nixon, as big as I am sitting there. It's subtle. I'm not saying it's a big difference, but everybody on camera has a good side.
Yeah, there you are.
A bad
and
side.
an evil side right there.
And you do too.
You think so?
Everybody does. It's just a fact. What do you think your good side is?
Well, I don't.
Let's take. We'll be the judge of this. Okay, there is. Look, there's Conan O'Brien. It's a good-looking Irish talk show host.
Sharp cheekbone, defined jaw.
Looking good nose there. Okay, let's see. Let's make the transition. He's still Conan. There he is, Conan as we said. But now look what happens. Look what happens. Oh my God! Oh, it's an old lady. You became an old lady. Look at that old lady, just like that.
You know what I love? When I got to hear, people started booing.
Yeah, you see? There were a couple of gasps. The girl went up,
I heard like 3 guys go, boo!
Do it at home, folks. You'll see for yourself.
Well, let's see. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Everybody's got a good.
Let's try it on Max. I'm just curious because I look at. I always see Max from straight on. Okay, that's nice.
That's a good look at that.
That's good. Yeah. And then Max, can you turn the other side? Let's see.
Let's see the
just
other
curious.
side. Sure. Let's see. See? Look. Good Lord. Oh, Max Weinberg to. Nice. I don't think you showed that side. Wasn't that good? There's a bad side, man.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was like from Max from the planet Twilo all of a sudden. It was spooky.
Now I want to the Da Vinci Code. Let's talk about this. This Da Vinci Code. This is huge. This is a huge movie. Highly anticipated.
Yeah.
People love the book.
Yeah.
People are lining up to see this thing. Everyone and you shot this parts of it in Paris.
Oh yeah, well we were in Paris for a long time, that was a great gig. It's nice to be an actor. It's nice to work in Paris.
I would think that would be a dream. And you know, a lot of people don't realize it's a lot of work. You do a movie like this, but what about you get some downtime? Did you get to?
Yeah, you get to live in Paris. In particular, you can make some choices. Like I said, look, okay, I'm going to be in Paris. I don't want a driver to get me to work. I want to get there on my own. I want to experience the city. And so I got a scooter. They gave me a scooter.
Oh. And
I would ride the scooter. And a weird thing happens, as soon as you sit on a scooter, everybody in Paris who rides a scooter looks just like this. And I thought it was like a goofy thing. It was a strange attitude thing.
Right.
And lo and behold, they gave me a scooter. And as soon as I sat on it, I never rode a scooter before, but as soon as I sat on it, and I had my beret, and I always drove with a baguette sticking out of the back. I was always like a baguette.
Yeah.
And just to make it, you know, a fully understandable thing, I had an accordion player play on the back.
Wherever you went.
We'd be, and he'd be like a dee 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 dee. And I'd make sure I drive to work past all the famous, the attractions, landmarks.
Sure.
The Notre Dame, the Eiffel Tower. Even though we were rehearsing really right next to where I was living, but I took the long route.
You get a little mustache too going. You gotta have a mustache there.
Sometimes you go around those big traffic circles. I'd be on them for 3-4 hours.
You run out of gas pretty fast.
Yeah, and it ain't cheap over there.
Is it true that you honeymooned in Paris?
Long time ago, yes. Now, Rita and I have been married for 18 years. We just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary, which is why I'm bringing it up. But we actually, our official honeymoon was a little bit after we got married, and we were in Paris, and we were going to leave Paris to go to the south of France, and that was going to be our honeymoon, and we were driving. We were going to drive ourselves. And we're in a car, not on a scooter, because that's a long way. All the way is like 9 hours down to the south of France. And so Rita had lived in Paris before. So she was driving out of Paris, because it's kind of a scary thing, a goofy traffic. And we had a rental car, and we were heading on out, and we were just about to get on the outskirts of Paris, and there was a cop on the corner, French cop, and he went like this. Just like that, which means pull over.
Right.
I didn't know this.
Right.
We pulled over just like that.
Right.
What American cops can pull you over by going like, how, you know?
No, I've seen...
America's, best police chases are going to be nothing if American cops can do...
Yeah, we got to shoot the tires out in this country.
Chase them down. But that's all this guy did. And he comes over, Rita was driving, and he says,
again, such respect for foreign cultures.
Look, I don't speak a language that is vaguely how it sounds to me. Rita does, and so she, and I said, what's up? He says, he's asking to see our papers. I was like, oh, man, I want to see your papers. Show me your papers. And I got freaked out because we didn't really have any papers. You know, an American driver's license, maybe our passports. Well, what else do you want to see? We showed him the rent-a-car agreement. Here it is.
Right.
And you go, I said, what did he say? He says, we can go. I said, really?
Right.
Really? And I said, well, why did he pull us over? We said, why did you pull us over? Did we look like crooks?
Right.
Did you think we stole this car? Or did we do something wrong? He said, no, I pulled you over because I can.
Wow. As good a reason as any, yeah.
They can. Because over there, they can.
Right.
Just like this.
Right.
I was like, that was it. That was it.
You got to love that country,
I was sweating bullets the whole time.
Right.
So you know what we did? We ran him over. You know what?
You did the right thing.
Well,
you did what you had to do.
We ran him over because we could. Thank goodness they forgot about it. Otherwise, they wouldn't let me do that when I was there.
You're back with a vengeance now.
You bet.
We have a clip here from the Da Vinci Code, and you know, I think so many people like myself have read this book, love this book. So there's a lot of people that know what this movie's about, but we should probably set the context for the clip.
Yeah, well, this scene wasn't in the book.
You're underwater, battling an octopus.
That's right.
Oh, good.
That's right, and it's a good scene too, man. Between the two. This is the beginning, and I'm talking about my character is a symbiologist. He's talking about symbols and how we understand them. If I have the clip correct, that
I think you do. Let's take a look at this clip from the Da Vinci Code.
Now, this symbol. Anyone?
Evil.
La fourche du diable.
In English, please.
Devil's pitchfork.
Poor Poseidon. That is his trident, a symbol of power to millions of the ancients. Understanding our past determines actively our ability to understand the present. So, how do we sift truth from belief? How do we write our own histories, personally or culturally, and thereby define ourselves? How do we penetrate years, centuries of historical distortion to find original truth? Tonight, this will be our quest. There you go, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah,
Is that not fraught with suspense?
I would love to be an actor just to play a role where I got to look smart.
Oh,
I think it'd be so much fun.
It's the most amazing thing. You get to pretend you know all that stuff.
Right.
It's just great. And I didn't even know what they were putting on in the back. I just said, listen, when I say this, put a bunch of cool stuff in the back.
Yeah. Just show anything, yeah. Well, the Da Vinci Code opens May 19th.
Yeah.
And Tom's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend.
With the Red Hot Chili Peppers, ladies.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. How many times have you done it now?
I think this is 8 times.
Wow.
I did it, like you said, 3 or 4 times. You were a member of the Boiler Room Boys. Remember? That's what I called you guys. Give it to the boys, the Boiler Room Boys. They'll make it fun.
We'll take care of you, Mr. Hanks. We'll take care of you.
Sprinkle some fairy dust on this, boys.
Don't you worry, Mr. Hanks. We'll get it
going down.
Yeah. Those were good times. It is always an honor and a real pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. Tom Hanks. Wolf Mother coming up. Take a break. We'll be right back. You ruined my life because you started. You did. You have.
Oh, go.
careful with that hand
That
gesture,
gesture's
because
bad, yeah.
out of context, it looks like you're doing the
You know
shake
what?
weight.
This is what happens when you. This is what it looks like when you take Grandma to Applebee's.
Now you're talking. Now I have to say, you started. It was just.
It was just a thing.
It was a little quip that you made.
guys did it on another thing. Someone referred to you as Coco, and I
Yeah.
thought it was a thing that they called you. So
Yeah,
I
and so
did
you
too.
repeated it. You got people chanting it, and now my kids. I have little children who call me sometimes Coco instead of Daddy, which enrages me.
It's a sample of my power.
I know. Do not screw with this guy.
I'm sorry. Finally, he'll blame something on someone other than Jay. By the way,
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
all right, I was the guest on your second show
Yes.
in that old incarnation, which
Yes.
means 9 months from today, I'll be your second guest when you're on Univision. And we are speaking in Español
Es
about
importante que
me.
nosotros.
Un trabajo de película con Julia Roberts.
Julia.
I made a movie with Julia
Yes,
Roberts.
you did.
And I'm promoting it. So.
We're going to talk about that in just a second, but you talked earlier, you made a quick joke, and I think it's a joke, this sample of your power. I think you have great power. I went on your Twitter site, and you made, I guess, a visit to Pixar.
Yes.
And you went to use the men's room, and you took a photo of the logo that signifies men on the men's room door, and check this out. It's
Look at that.
Woody.
It's Woody.
This is a sign of, this is incredible.
Clout, without a doubt. Clout. I have a feeling, though, if Pixar is up in Emeryville, Oakland, California, my old hometown, and I have a feeling they find out who is going to be there and slap their logos up all over. If it's the guy from Cars, guess what? Cars is everywhere. The Bugs Life stuff is kept in a back room, but they whip it out every now and again. And whenever anybody goes up there, they take me or Tim off to the side, and they say, you know, your character is the #1 selling toy. So Don Rickles is convinced he has the #1 selling toy. It's all a lie.
So you're saying these Pixar people they're playing...
Lying sons of bitches.
You mentioned you are making you've made a film with Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. I made a movie called Larry Crown, and it's going to be out in July 1st. So set your... Why am I on the show talking about a movie that's coming out in July?
Come again on the Univision show to talk about it.
Very big.
Or whatever incarnation we're on then.
Julia Roberts, it is about a guy who loses his job. Who then goes back to junior college. I went to junior college. And his teacher, my teacher, is Julia Roberts, said, guess what happens?
She's a vampire.
It's absolutely magnificent. She's a wonderful lady to work with. And also in the film, George Takei.
George Takei.
You know George Takei of
Mr. Sulu from Star Trek.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy.
I worked with, a number of years ago, I worked on a Simpsons episode about, but I wanted to get him to be part of it. It was about a monorail, and I asked him to be part of the episode, and he said no. Because I don't want to get him in trouble, but he said he's on the Board of Transportation in San Francisco, and he said, I take monorails very seriously. He did.
That actually sounds like a come-on line, you know?
Maybe it was.
I take monorails very seriously. George is a wonderful, wonderful guy, great actor. And when he was young, he's of Japanese American. His family was in one of the internment camps.
I did hear that.
And now he is one of the most beloved actors in America, as our test screening in Woodland Hills earlier this week.
Right.
He came up on screen and fights broke out. It's Mr. Solo! It's Mr. Solo! It's Mr. Solo! They love loved him. And we immediately went back and put all his scenes back in the movie.
Great.
He is such a wonderful man.
He takes monorails very seriously.
I respect your opinion. You're an icon. You're a very smart man. Give me your honest opinion. How do you feel about the set? We have a new set.
Not about it. The high point, I gotta say, outside the 6,000 seats for the screaming fans. This is about the most beautiful and most realistic backdrop I've ever seen of some city somewhere in the world. It's not Los Angeles.
No, it's not LA.
I don't know if it's like Dubai or Abu Dhabi or
this is Rio. Yeah.
Acapulco or something like that. But look at that beautiful water there. Isn't it gorgeous? Like classic.
Do you like ocean? Are you an ocean guy?
When I was a kid, I got hooked on watching nonfiction television in the guise of the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques Cousteau was huge.
I watched. They were on about once a month. And I watched them religiously because you just learn so much about dolphins, and it wasn't just the ocean. He would go into like lakes and stuff. I remember once he went into Lake Titicaca in South America, and they took the submarines, and he said, we took the submersibles to the bottom of Lake Titicaca. Much to our surprise, we found nothing but titties and caca. That's the joke we said the next day in junior high, which I think works great for Conan's new show.
Yeah. Perfect. It's perfect.
But I loved it because you learned about dolphins and octopus and stuff. So it made me like an amateur marine biologist.
I didn't realize that were you that interested in marine life.
Well, yeah. I lived in the Bay Area, the San Francisco Bay Area, so we always saw water, and we always had that sense that we were very close to nature.
Well, it's beautiful to. Well, look at that. You can see, I think those are whales right there.
Oh my God,
Check it
look
out.
At that. Look at that.
Look at that.
I believe those are humpback whales,
Yeah.
Conan. Those are humpback whales, and if there's got to be a school of them nearby. Now, this is freaky because we're early for the humpback migration season. So to see them now, I think we should just look at them and enjoy this spectacular vision of nature.
You know, Tom, I have known you a long time. I've never seen you this excited about anything. Well, check out, look, the whales are breaching.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, no, they're not breaching, they are lunging. If they were to breach, actually 40% of them would come out of the water. It would be totally different. That was amazing. I was wrong. They were breaching. That was a breach. That was not a lunge. It was a breach.
Hey guys, what's going on? Blake here. I am currently in an alleyway between our stage and the stage next to us. We're doing a little test today for Tom Hanks' segment. We're gonna shoot a tidal wave of water at him from behind. We're gonna shoot a bunch of water at me. I get to sit in this chair right here. We've got a homemade water cannon over here. This looks extremely dangerous. There's just tubes and a kiddie pool. Apparently I'm the guinea pig for the show. It's news to me. Let's hope they get this in one take. That went on my nose. Fire. I think they found their range. They got a winner.
I have to get right to it. You experienced something I'm confident that I can say I will never experience. Yeah. You went to a white tie affair at Buckingham Palace.
I did indeed, in England, London, England.
In London, England, Buckingham Palace. I have no idea. Tell us what this event was like.
It's like doing the Love Boat, man. It is meaning that there is
Look, Jamie Farr did the Love Boat.
Did good. Meaning that there is no disappointment in the experience, of course, is what I mean. It's everything it's cracked up to be. You get this pamphlet that says how you're supposed to dress and how you're supposed to address people, how you're supposed to put on clothes. Women can't show their shoulders or wear open-toed shoes. I don't know why. I think the people who have had their heads cut off.
Yeah?
And the white tie and tails,
Yes, yes.
The jacket comes down here and you have a vest underneath. You are not supposed to show any vest under your coat. And you think, well, am I going to be arrested? And then you get there and everybody's got their vest hanging out, and the ladies are wearing open-toed shoes everywhere. And when you meet somebody, you're supposed to address them as sir or ma'am, and you get there and they pay no attention to the protocol. It's like, hello, I'm Julie. This is my husband, Craig. And Julie is a baroness, and Craig is the counselor of the exchequer or something like that. You know. And
so, do you think it's almost a prank? Do you think they're giving you the 50 pages to learn, and then they're like, the Americans gonna...
Even right down to the dinner, I think they put Americans next to you as a joke. Like if you've been a good English person, you get to sit next to, because we know nothing. We don't know what glass to pick up. We're not sure what these courses are. We ate all this food, and I'm sitting next to somebody, and they divvy us up, two ladies. They were both baronesses or duchesses or something like that. Very nice ladies, and the conversation is called convivial, but we have no idea what to do. And we finished what I think was about our 9th course, and this bowl of consomme was brought to us, a clear broth consomme, and I think, well, obviously, you eat this consomme with a spoon in order to clear your palate for the royal cheese.
Sorry. Why would you assume there'd be a royal cheese?
Because it's Buckingham Palace. And obviously, there's going to be a cheese course. So I'm getting ready to clear my palate for the royal cheese, and I pick up my spoon, and I'm dipping it down into the clear consomme, and the baroness next to me goes, ah! Spoon goes flying.
Uh-huh.
And she says, what are you doing? I said, well, obviously, I'm clearing my palate with the consomme for the royal cheese. And she says, that's water to wash your fingers with. Oh, all righty then. Why? Because you're going to bring some fruit, and after you eat the fruit, then you will need to wash your fingers, I said. Then I looked around, of course, everybody had moved their consomme off to the plate. And what's amazing is that Rita was down sitting next to the former prime minister and James Bond's boss, a little farther to my wife.
The actor who plays James Bond?
No, literally the guy who, hello, I'm Don, I run MI5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
the real guy.
The bona fide spy master, who was a very handsome dude on top of this. And an unemployed politician, the guy who used to be the thing. And she had the same problem. Did you almost drink that soup? The consomme. I said, yes. She says, I was expecting the royal cheese. I said, well, we had the royal wine. It was the royal consomme. And then we don't, they don't tell you what's happening. You don't know how many courses there are, so we don't know when the dinner is over. Mm-hmm. Have no idea. Right. But then we hear off in the distance, somewhere deep within the bowels of Buckingham Palace, bagpipes that get closer and closer and closer until the doors burst open and 40 bagpipers come into the with the drums and and they mark all the way around this huge room, and you just watch, and it's the loudest noise you have ever heard. And then they stand at the back of the room and they play a full song, but back in the back of the room, it's a little quieter. And then they pick up again, and then they march all the way around, and then the Queen and the royal entourage, they get up and leave with them. And so we all stand up because the Queen is leaving, and without knowing it, the staff pull the chair outs from behind you and move them to the center of the room. So we're standing there quietly as the Queen walks out and the bagpipes are receding, and the Baroness says, don't sit down. Why? Because there's no chair there anymore. And that's the sign that dinner is over and you go off and you have a conversation.
That's the way to end a dinner.
Man, oh man, I tell you, our American heads were just swimming. Swimming.
Do you think through the dinner she's thinking, will I tell him about the chair or won't I?
That could really be...
That's the big fun they have there.
That's the test of whether or not you were good conversation or not. Because I'm sure... Whoa! Oh, my back hurts. Well, next time, why don't you speak a little bit less of yourself?
Tom, you've done a very good job of jumping into the world of social media, in my opinion. You have the tweets. You're not afraid of it.
I'm down with the kids.
You're down with the kids, and the kids are down with you.
I think so.
And it's actually interesting because the other day we found that there's a bunch of websites that are devoted to you, and people get obsessed. There's one that's real, which is called Tom Hanks is a Lot of Animals. Are you familiar with this website?
Oh.
Are you familiar with this?
Well, in my worst nightmares, I guess I am.
Yeah, this is a real website. I don't even know who made this site. This is nothing
Somebody
to do
with time on their hands, evidently.
Let's hope so. Let's hope they don't have an important job. Let's take a look now. This is a real clip from Tom Hanks is a Lot of Animals.
Is that good for me at all? Is it a good thing that's happening to me?
It's a good thing if it's making money and you get a piece of it.
I don't get that has not been monetized. That has not been monetized. I would like to thank the inmates who have put this together.
Why? I see so many of these things, and you look at them and you think, why? But these, obviously it's done with a lot of affection.
Well, they take a head from a stills from some movie I made
I know
and
how.
stick it on there.
I wondered why.
Oh, because that's Rock'em Sock'em Entertainment. Is that what that is?
Now I understand. Let's talk about your movie, Larry Crown. I saw this movie. I really enjoyed it. And one of the things it made me do, I saw the movie and I thought, you know what? You ride a scooter in this movie.
Yeah.
And I left the theater thinking, I want to buy a scooter.
You gotta get a scooter.
I want to get a scooter now.
Saves money, you're outdoors, but you gotta get a license. And this is not an easy thing to do.
It's not like a bike. You can't just get on it.
No. You got to go and you got to get a learner's permit first. And in order to do that, you have to pass a written test. And that sucker is diabolical.
For a scooter? That can't be.
For cars, by and large, physics and common sense enter into cars, getting a license for cars. But for a scooter, they try to mess with your mind, man. It's a whole different 45 questions. Like there was one that says this: a scooter is a board with 2 roller skates, a dangerous motor vehicle, C, nickname for a dancer in West Side Story, or D, a cookie-covered marshmallow dessert pie. Now, you and I know all of those answers are correct. You have to discover, you got to decipher. I have never been so nervous taking this 45, double-sided 45.
Sure.
I stayed up all night, I crammed, I took no dose, I went to the DMV with a pot of coffee and sandwiches. And they say, if you're going to take a test, answer all the easy questions first. There were only 3 easy questions out of 45.
Wow.
So I blew those in like 20 minutes. And then I'm looking at the rest of them saying, sweating like I answered 5. Then I had to take a nap. I was exhausted. And those benches at the DMV are not comfortable because they got those dividers in them. And there's always a teenager waiting to get his license right now. So then I came back, answered another 7. Had to take a run to clear the head, man. It was just like, it just took so long. Then I came back and I was struggling for an hour and a half on this one question and I burst into tears. I don't know the answer! I don't have the math! And this sweet, sweet lady, I had been there for about 6.5 hours. And this sweet lady said, you're going to be okay. You're going to be, would you like a Hershey bar? And she gave me a Hershey bar and talked me back down. I finished the test in 2 days. You can only miss 6, and then you're DQ'd.
Right.
I missed 5. I skated through. I got it.
Which enabled you. You passed the test. You got to make the film. Tom, you've done a very good job of jumping into the world of social media, in my opinion. You have the tweets. You're not afraid of it.
I'm down with the kids.
You're down with the kids, and the kids are down with you.
I think so.
And it's actually interesting because the other day we found that there's a bunch of websites that are devoted to you, and people get obsessed. There's one that's real, which is called Tom Hanks is a Lot of Animals. Are you familiar with this website?
Oh.
Are you familiar with this?
Well, in my worst nightmares, I guess I am.
Yeah, this is a real website. I don't even know who made this site. This is nothing to do
Somebody with time on their hands.
Let's hope so. Let's hope they don't have an important job. Let's take a look now. This is a real clip from Tom Hanks is a Lot of Animals.
I'm sorry. Is that good for me at all? Is it a good thing that's happening to me?
It's a good thing if it's making money and you get a piece of it.
I don't get that. Has not been monetized. That has not been monetized. I would like to thank the inmates who have put this together.
Why?
You know,
I see so many of these things, and you look at them and you think, why? But these, obviously it's done with a lot of affection.
Well, they take a head from a stills from some movie I made
I know
and
how.
stick it on there.
I wondered why.
Oh, because that's Rock'em Sock'em Entertainment. Is that what
okay.
that is?
Now I understand. Let's talk about your movie, Larry Crown. I saw this movie. I really enjoyed it. And one of the things it made me do, I saw the movie and I thought, you know what? You ride a scooter in this movie.
Yeah.
And I left the theater thinking, I want to buy a scooter.
You gotta get a scooter.
I want to get a scooter now.
Saves money, you're outdoors, but you gotta get a license. And this is not an easy thing to do.
It's not like a bike. You can't just get on it.
No. You gotta go and you gotta get a learner's permit first. And in order to do that, you have to pass a written test. And that sucker is diabolical.
For a scooter?
Well,
that can't be.
For cars, physics and common sense enter into cars, getting a license for cars. But for a scooter, they try to mess with your mind, man. It's a whole different 45 questions. Like there was one that says this: a scooter is a board with 2 roller skates, a dangerous motor vehicle, C, nickname for a dancer in West Side Story, or D, a cookie-covered marshmallow dessert pie. Now, you and I know all of those answers are correct. You have to discover, you got to decipher. I have never been so nervous taking this 45, double-sided 45.
Sure.
I stayed up all night, I crammed, I took no dose. I went to the DMV with a pot of coffee and sandwiches. And they say, if you're going to take a test, answer all the easy questions first. There were only 3 easy questions out of 45.
Wow.
So I blew those in like 20 minutes. And then I'm looking at the rest of them saying, sweating like I answered 5. Then I had to take a nap. I was exhausted. And those benches at the DMV are not comfortable because they got those dividers in them. And there's always a teenager waiting to get his license right now. So then I came back, answered another 7. Had to take a run to clear the head, man. It was just like, it just took so long. Then I came back and I was struggling for an hour and a half on this one question and I burst into tears. I don't know the answer! I don't have the math! And this sweet, sweet lady, I had been there for about 6.5 hours. And this sweet lady said, you're going to be okay. You're going to be, would you like a Hershey bar? And she gave me a Hershey bar and talked me back down. I finished the test in 2 days. You can only miss 6, and then you're DQ'd.
Right.
I missed 5. I skated through. I got it.
Which enabled you. All right, everybody, we're back with Tom Hanks, and in the commercial break, he drove his scooter in here, and we're ready to go. I don't know why we didn't start outside, but this is what we're doing.
What I learned in the test is you got to wear a helmet.
Okay.
So put it on.
Okay.
And then just pick up the chicks.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Let's get out of here. All right, here we go. Yeah!
Look out, everybody, look out. Coming through. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let's go.
Yeah! All right.
Here we go.
Whoa, okay, yeah.
Man, what a day. Is it beautiful or what?
Smell that air. Hey, you better slow down. The gate's down.
Okay,
The gate's
all right.
down. Here we go.
Whoa. I'm going to need to see some ID.
Okay, I forgot mine.
I got
you better
it.
step on it.
Get out! Get out!
All right. Yeah.
A little slow with the both of us on
That was
here.
really slow.
The
All
pickup
right.
is not what we thought it would be.
Hey, Dodgers are in town. What do you say?
I love baseball. Let's go.
Let's
Wanna
go
to
check
the
out the
game?
Dodgers. Yeah,
Let's go. Oh, here we are. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, we're up in the cheap seats. Look at the... Oh, nosebleed.
Yeah, let's go down the steps.
Come
Let's
on,
do it.
go.
Yeah, it'll be
Let's go.
fun. Let's go.
Ready?
Got some peanuts there. Okay, very nice. Peanuts.
Thanks. Oh, I got them. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. Hey, anybody want some peanuts?
Hey, peanuts.
Here you go, man.
Cool. Hey, I'll do it too. Hey, you want some peanuts?
Yeah, I'll back too.
Let's head on down to the field.
Let's go down to the field. Hey, it's Andre Ethier. Hey, look.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Coco. Let's see what you got.
Okay, hey, here you go, my man. Ready? Ready, and oh, I gotta go this way. Oh, sorry.
Hey, get back over here.
Get out of here. Sorry, it's got out. Whoa, sorry.
Hey, I got an idea. Let's go to Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, let's go. I know where that is. Oh, Darth Vader. Oh,
Darth Vader. So cool.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Superman, Spider-Man. Hey! Hey, my friend!
Woody, come on, Woody!
Look, it's my favorite deputy!
Yeah.
Hey, howdy, hey!
This is great.
Yeah, that's great.
You and Woody.
Oh, sorry. Oh, man.
Wow.
Tough. Never would have happened to Buzz Lightyear.
All right. Hey, this scooter's getting pretty dirty.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's a car wash right over here. Ready? Yeah, here, put on. There we go. Yeah.
That sucked. Let's get back on the street.
Well, it is a clean bike now.
Yeah, it's nice and clean now.
It's just clean right there.
Hey,
Hey, there's your car.
there, yeah. Hey, let's go to the, you know what's near here? The La Brea Turf Field.
I've never been. Let's
La
go.
Brea Turf Field.
Let's go.
That's a big tar pit, yeah.
Smell that tar.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, dinosaurs. Look at that. Prehistoric beast. A mastodon.
Hey, and look, guess what? Here comes prehistoric man right here. Check it out. Yeah.
Get off my car! Get off!
See you later.
Oh, I'm gonna dry off in this heat, I hope. Yeah.
Woo. Hey, Tom, I think you made a wrong turn.
Oh no, it's gonna be fine. Here, just hold on tight.
No, I don't like
Come on,
this.
just hold on.
No, I don't like this.
Come on, no,
Oh my God! Tom Hanks, everybody!
Hey everybody, Jimmy Pardo for Team Coco. The show is still going on. I'm about to barge it on Tom Hanks. He has no idea I'm coming in. Gonna ask him some questions, maybe do some word association. Let's do it. Oh, sweet Jesus. We all right? I'm gonna need this room cleared. Can be just me and Mr. Hanks, please. Listen to your iPod. I'm sure you're listening to some wonderful tunes. Hey, how are you?
Great, Jimmy.
Good. Hi.
Your name is Jimmy again?
I'm over here, Jimmy, yes.
How are you? Good to see you.
Pleasure. It's my pleasure. The name of the movie that you're doing
Larry Crown.
is Larry Crown.
Opens July 1st.
The volleyball's name is Larry Crown? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's an old film. That's not the Larry Crown's new film. You're talking about a movie called Castaway, made that long ago.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Similarities,
exactly
but
what was
not,
happening.
yeah.
It's Larry Crown versus the volcano. Is that what I'm?
The more recent
This
film.
is something more recent.
Brand new, yeah.
This hasn't even come out yet.
Not till July 1st.
Now, is this the film then that you did with Peter Scolari? Is that this?
That's a TV show I did a long time ago called Bosom Buddies, which was a damn good show.
Let's do this real fast. I want to do a little word association. You ready
Bring
to
it
do
on.
this?
That sounds
Here we
like
go.
fun. Jimmy.
Pardo and Hanks. Let's do this.
That's funny.
All right, fake laugh. Roller coasters.
Oh, fun.
Shakespeare.
Oh, classic.
Oh, that a boy.
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Cheetos. Residue.
Ugh.
You know, because you pull it out and you have the orange.
I understand. No, Buzz Lightyear.
Overrated.
Aha, Woody.
Genius.
No questions.
Stone cold genius.
Paycheck.
Paycheck. Cash money.
Coasting.
Latter part of my career.
Not trying anymore.
That would be, some of the gigs that I have now.
Mm-hmm. Skating by.
Let me try some with you, if I can.
I'd like to hear some of these.
Weaselly.
A rat. I'm horrible at this.
Wiener-like.
Sexy.
Packageless.
Oh. Pardon?
Packageless.
Okay. I see what you're doing here.
Diminutive.
Okay. Hurtful now. Here's the thing, Mr. Hanks. I came in here to help you promote this new film.
Mini.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Junior.
I said thank you.
Fantastic voyage.
I thank you for your time, sir.
This is where we take videos of famous people and combine them, usually for no good reason, other than we can, okay? First up, we've melded Kim Kardashian and Chris Christie.
I think I've grown a thick skin over the years, but I mean, even like I love trying to dress for my new body and having even my clothing line, you know, custom make pieces for me.
Next up, Tom Hanks and Zooey Deschanel.
I don't think you could be an actor and not want to at some point be on Broadway and challenge those waters.
Again. John Mayer and Katy Perry.
I don't feel like I'm in a celebrity relationship. For me, it feels like something that's very human.
What's wrong with its eye?
It's got one from the mother.
Oh,
and one
whoa,
from the
God, oh my God. That's just disturbing. Finally, Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus.
My dad had always told me, and he reminded me, son, you know, it's always important to be aware of where you're at and always be looking forward to where you're going, but most importantly, never forget where you come from.
First of all, I'm thrilled to meet you. I loved the movie, and you're so incredible in the film. And then to realize this is where you're starting. I mean, this was your first big break.
Yeah, this is my first big break.
Yeah.
And it's good to see you. I watched you a lot on TV.
Oh, you've seen? I had no idea if you had known me. You've seen me before on TV?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how you move the hair.
That's what you've taken away from all of my work. No other questions, just how the hair, yeah.
The hair.
Yeah, what were your questions? Fire away.
The movement.
The movement, oh, you can't?
Yeah, all right.
Incredible, I'm not talking to you about that. It's done with wires and, yeah. Let's make this about you and then more about me. In the film, you play a Somali pirate.
Yeah.
You are from Somalia originally.
That's right.
But you moved to the United States when you were much younger. How old were you when you moved to the U.S.?
14.
14, and you grew up in where'd you live? Minneapolis?
Minneapolis, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So what's interesting is they had a casting call. Is there a large Somalian population in Minneapolis?
It's the largest in North America, yeah.
So that's where they decided when they were making Captain Phillips. They said, let's have the casting in Minneapolis to try and find
some pirates.
Yeah, some pirates. When you need Somali pirates, you go to Minneapolis, apparently. How many people showed up for the auditions?
It was about 700 or
700.
Yeah.
Okay. And you get the role, which is absolutely amazing. And the other pirates who were chosen, there's 4 of you all together.
Yeah.
They were your friends.
Oh, yeah.
You knew them already.
Yeah. We lived on the same buildings and we knew each other very well.
That's incredible.
I know.
Because you're all amazing and you get to be in this movie with all of your friends. Now, your co-star, Tom Hanks, the biggest star in the world.
Right.
You obviously knew who he was. What's your favorite Tom Hanks movie?
Forrest Gump.
You like Forrest Gump? Okay.
Yeah.
When you met Tom Hanks, did you bring that up?
I told him because we didn't get to meet Tom until the first time we see on the movie.
Oh, the first day with your shooting?
Yep. Like with him. That was the first time. So
yeah.
After the scene, I told him, like, I can't believe I'm making a scene with the Forrest Gump guy. Yeah,
the Forrest Gump guy.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
He's here tomorrow. I'm gonna have to tell him that. How was he with that? He was okay with that?
Oh yeah, he laughed. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, were you interested in acting at all before this experience?
Yeah, I loved acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just happened to find a shortcut.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You were like, let's see. I think okay, I'm interested in acting. I think I'll co-star with Tom Hanks in one of the best films of the year. What were you doing before? What kind of jobs did you have?
I was a chauffeur.
You were a limo driver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was, how long were you a limo driver for?
For about a year.
Yeah. How did you like it?
It was good. You get to meet new people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would think what's interesting now is you're going to all these parties.
Yeah.
And now there's a limo driver driving you.
Yeah.
Are you nice to the limo driver?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, good. All right. You say, like, look, I know what I've been there, man. I know what's going on. Your co-star,
Barkhad was here.
Barkhad was here last night.
Barkhad Abdi.
He's also nominated, and his story is amazing. The guy is Somalian and grew up where? Here in the United States.
Well, did he tell you last night?
He told us last night.
Did you get to the bottom of it? He left Somalia during the war. He was like 7 years old. His parents were teachers, instructors. And I said, well, 7 years old, do you have a lot of memories of that? He says, oh, very much so. All the teenagers, literally the boys that took up arms, all wanted to dress. This is the power of the movies, Conan. You might relate to this as well.
All right. I'm here. Listening to
Paul,
every
check
word.
this out. That he said that all the teenagers wanted to dress for the war like Rambo. They had seen the movies, and so they went bare-chested and wore ammunition, belts across it, and put on headbands, and then ran out and fought the war and killed each other, which is quite horrifying.
Dressed as Stallone, though, which is so weird. And what's odd to me is he talked about shooting the scene with you that you guys didn't get a chance to talk or meet beforehand.
No, we never
did. When you shot your first scene together where he storms the boat, that's literally the first time that you guys had ever seen each other.
We'd ever laid eyes on each other, and we could hear them coming, because there's pyrotechnics going off, and you could hear them running up the ladders and whatnot. And I think there were 4 of us on the bridge of the actual ship, and we're out in the ocean. We are essentially middle-aged, out-of-shape white guys, just standing there like this.
Yeah.
And we're trying to, act scared, which in fact we were.
Right.
And then Barkhad, Mahat, and Faisal came running in. The doors explode because they have some pyrotechnics, and they're firing their fake automatic weapons. And 4 of the skinniest, scariest human beings came in, and I swear to God, we all took dumps in our pants. I mean, we're actors, and we know that. And then we had to quickly do it again. And every time these guys came in, and they're, as you saw, Barkhad, who's the sweetest man in the world.
Sweetest guy in the world, but it's quite terrifying in the movie, and they really do capture your fear. And I'm curious. I was talking to Barkhad last night. What happens when they said cut? And Barkhad's standing there talking to Tom Hanks, and you guys have never met
We've never met. He said, hey, I really like Apollo 13. And I said, hey, thanks, man. And then he said, you really live in Minneapolis? Yes, we love Minneapolis. We love it.
That's right, he grew up in Minneapolis.
He moved to Minneapolis when he was in high school, because they went to Yemen. That's how they escaped Somalia. And then because his parents were teachers, they won the immigration lottery and got to move from the sunny climes of the desert of Yemen to February in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And he said that there were 700 people. They literally, the audition was in Minneapolis.
For the movie, yes.
For the movie, because they're looking for Somali pirates, and they find out that that's where a lot of, there's a Somali population there.
This is what I think was happening. He was sitting around, this is why I think it was. Barkhad was sitting in his apartment like this, with like a bag of Cheetos, watching TV, and he said this little ticker went across the bottom of the screen of the TV, just like that. And it said, wanted Somali actors for Paul Greengrass film with Tom Hanks. So this is what I think he did. I'm not trying to make fun of the Somali language.
Not at all.
But you know that's what
he
happened.
did, yes.
And he was so great. And he actually auditioned with his pals, who are the other Barcott Faisal.
They're his friends in Minneapolis, and all of them got the parts. And they're fantastic.
As soon as we were done shooting every scene, they started fighting, like right up. And I said, guys, be nice, be nice. And I never understood what they were saying until I saw the movie, and it was subtitled.
Subtitled, yeah.
So I could say, hey, you know what? You're a better actor than I thought. that was really powerful stuff. Because all there is a time we're just like, well, hey, be nice. Be
very, very realistic.
You got to watch tomorrow night because Odenkirk and you and Bob
Bob Odenkirk used to be a writer on Saturday Night Live when I was there, and there was
and Smigel, I think.
Smigel and a guy named Greg Daniels.
That's right.
And there was.
I called you the Boiler Room Boys.
We used to, and it was so great.
Hand it over to the Boiler Room Boys. They'll sprinkle some fairy dust on it.
Yeah, we were 4 nerds in a little room at Saturday Night Live in the late '80s, early '90s, and this was our favorite host of SNL. And you would come in, and you would at 4 in the morning, it'd be like, get the Boiler Room Boys. Right. And we'd come running out and be like, what do you want, Mr. Hanks?
What do you got? Listen, punch this up for me. Come on, I need a character and a premise.
Yeah.
Give me a character and a premise.
Give me something. We'd be like, wait, run it, Mr. Hanks. And then we'd run back in and blah, 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 blah. We had old-time typewriters. We smoked cigars.
It smelled bad in there.
It smelled bad. It was awful.
Bad.
You know, speaking of TV in the old days, the first time I saw you, and a lot of people, was in Bosom Buddies. You said you started in television. And then you made... And I remember seeing that show, and immediately, like a lot of us were like, that's a funny guy, but then you transitioned into the movie business, and that's got to be a completely different style of acting.
Well, a year of unemployment helped an awful lot.
Right.
They canceled Bosom Buddies in February of 1982.
Right.
And I didn't work for about a year. And then I had met some of the people on Happy Days, and nobody else would make this movie called Splash, and so I had a meeting with Ron Howard and Brian Graves. We were all just kind of like quasi-young Turks. And they ended up making that movie. But it was tough because I was still operating on all of the skills that I had learned on the TV show, which is at the read-through on Monday, you must kill. They hand you a script, and you've got to, like, get huge screams and laughs. So you're working really hard. Yeah. You're yelling your lines. You know, hey, Henry, where's my chapstick? You say things like that. You know.
That's my favorite episode.
You try to do stuff like that. What are you talking about? You lost my chapstick? Anything there? So we had a read through for the movie Splash, and this had Daryl Hannah and John Candy and Eugene Levy, who I was and I was the lead who was in love with Daryl Hannah, the mermaid. And at the read-through at Ron's house, it had like every department head there, the DP, some executives from that, and we were there were like 30 people there. We sat down and we started a read-through, and I was thinking that, boy, I have to score because otherwise I'll lose. They won't cut to me, so I got to be very funny. So we're reading through it, and none of the lines were comedic lines. You know, they were just straight lines. You know?
I love you.
You're a mystery woman. How come I didn't meet you until today? Nothing. And and John got laughs, and Eugene got laughs
because they had comedic roles.
They had comedic roles, and I was just trying to say lines that were not funny. And afterwards, Ron came up to me and said, "Look, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Okay? It's okay. I know what you're doing. You're trying to score. You think it's funny to try to score. Your job is not to score. Your job is not to score. You're not being funny. Your job is to love the girl. Yeah. You need to love the girl. All right? That's your job." And I just said, "Are you going to fire me because of this?" And he said, No, I won't fire you. But I was worried that I.
It's a second there.
But it's the chops of doing a show like Bosom Buddies, which was all like laughs, and me and Peter Scolari started finishing each other's sentences.
Yes.
About the third week of working together. So.
I always thought because the movies is such a different business. I've always thought if you had a movie and for some reason someone made the horrible mistake of giving me a cameo, I'd come in and I'd like look at the camera and do the crap that I do on television right away and say, suddenly people are like, I'm not watching Captain Phillips anymore. Who's the ass in the background? You can't do any of that stuff.
This is why you're going to be at this desk for the rest of your life.
Let's talk about Saving Mr. Banks. I got to watch this film last night with my wife, and we were blown away. Just an amazing film.
Listen, I like it too.
And I was... We're done. Good night.
I do. I mean, I'm not in it that much. So I worked for about 3.5 weeks. So when you get to finally see it, you see all this movie you're not in with Colin Farrell and Emma and Jason Schwartzman and BJ Novak. Yeah.
It's
Bradley Whitford.
It's a great story. The story of Walt Disney had promised his kids, I'm going to make the movie of Mary Poppins.
I think he promised his kids, and also he might have thought that he'll make some money off of this movie. You know, if it comes off.
Profit, I'm sure,
he's
came
not
into
a
it.
dope in that way.
Yeah,
you know?
and he wants to make this movie. He thinks this is the movie to make, but he doesn't have the rights. He has to go.
Yeah, and she hates everything there is to hate about Americans and movies and Walt Disney. So it was a battle of wills, and Disney just came in and out and said, "Fix this, fellas, fix it."
You know, what's really impressive about the film is they've recreated old-time Disneyland. They've really recreated the early 60s, and you really feel like it's Walt Disney at Disneyland.
We got to shoot at Disneyland.
You got to shoot at Disneyland.
Period, everything. And they changed some of the colors. They went back to the original art design for some of it. And to be in Disneyland, come on, man. Well, you know, before it opens, you know, it was just us. We didn't have the run of the place because we had to get to work. But when you get there and there's nobody there, it's like, oh, I get it. I'm 13. I'm dead at 13, and I've come to heaven. This is where we get to live now.
Did you learn? Did you get to spook around? Did you learn any of the old? Because you always think there are these mysteries and myths about Disneyland.
You ask questions like, what happened to this ride? And they tell you why there's no sky buckets anymore. Remember the sky buckets?
Sure.
You caught them in Tomorrowland. You took them to Fantasyland. They went right through the heart of the Matterhorn, came out the other side. And one of the problems was there were a lot of people who were trying to join, let's call it the Mile High Club.
You're kidding.
In the sky buckets. There was other naughty stuff going on, but there were people that tried to, how do we say this, get the deed done. How to enjoy the E-ticket. Maybe the G ticket, the O ticket, I don't know, but they were trying.
How long is that ride?
This was it. I mean, I remember doing it. It was like maybe 4.5 minutes from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no way. That means everything had to be out of its foil packet. It had to, you know, everything had to be ready to go.
I could do it 3 times on that ride.
They'd have guys saying, they'd say like, sky bucket number 57. And sure enough, there'd be 2 people in sky bucket number 57. Let's say they were enjoying their climb up the Matterhorn. They would be met in Fantasyland by a Keystone Cop and a Western Sheriff with walkie-talkies in their ears.
That's fantastic.
Saying, I think you 2 Musketeers are going to be escorted to the other side of the berm, as they say. So that's one of the reasons they shut down the sky bucket.
That's absolutely amazing.
Nefarious activities.
I got to see your movie actually this morning, and it was fantastic. It was great, and we will talk about that. But I'm curious about something. Tom Hanks has described you as a director as being very excitable. That you get, when you're describing an action scene and what you want the actors to do,
scenes.
that you get really wound up. Now, do you think that's fair of Tom to say that, or do you think that's a little unfair? What do you think?
Look, he likes to do these bits, you know, where he kind of does a version of me. Like he was talking about this movie that we just finished shooting, one of the Dan Brown, you know, Robert Langdon mysteries. And in it, there's a drone that's trying to find him. And of course, the drone wasn't really there because you couldn't get the mechanics of that. So, you know, Tom's having to do his angle. And I start trying to talk him through the action. And I go, you know, there's a drone and it's coming. But he describes it like, okay, there's a drone. It's hovering. It's gone. It's back. And
so you feel he's exaggerating.
I think he's exaggerating. In fact, I don't even think that represents me at all. But then I find myself directing him, and I start doing, you know, his version of me directing him. So now it's kind of ingrained. But so anyway, I was kind of complaining about it on this press junket here that we're doing because Chris Hemsworth is the star of In the Heart.
And there's a lot of great action, in this movie.
And I was complaining about it, and he said, "No, that's true." Because you did it with me. You said, "There's a whale! He's gonna die! He's got teeth!" All right, so I'm trying to help the actor.
Taylor.
I know.
There's a whale!
I'm trying to support the actor.
Sure, yeah, you're doing your part.
To create this realism.
You know what's interesting is that directors on a big film, like this, for example, where there's so much involved, there's incredible special effects and so many actors and so much going on, directors famously can be short-tempered because they have a lot to worry about. You don't seem like that kind of guy. You seem like a guy who doesn't get angry, or is there anything on the set that does get you angry?
I don't know. I'm not really a yeller, but if people aren't prepared or something, if they're late, if they disrespect the process and a pattern is brewing, I don't yell at them.
What do you do if you're not yelling? How does Ron Howard, as a director, show his displeasure?
Well, they just see that I'm upset. They'll just see a different look, and then that seems to be almost enough.
Can I see? Is it okay if we see the Ron Howard? Wouldn't you like to see what Ron Howard looks like on his role? I would. Let's get a nice shot of this. I just want to.
As I recall, you made my daughter Bryce cry on demand, and now you want me to make looks?
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay,
I'm running a circus here.
We're your willing participants.
You jump through it.
I don't know. There's not too much to it. It's not as good as Bryce's crying, but it's kind of like.
You just look tired. You look tired and like the sun's too bright. That's all.
That's enough.
People
That's
just
enough
think, get that man a sun hat. That's all they're thinking in that moment. Yeah, you did. You mentioned your daughter was here, Bryce, an incredible actress, and she was here, and it was this moment that so many people have talked to me about. She said she could cry on demand, so I asked her to do it. And she did it here on the show. Yeah. We did like a mini scene, and it was really incredible. And I was like, I thought that's fantastic. Did you know that she could do that?
Well, no, not to that degree. But she's a great actress, and she's very emotional, and she can cry. I mean, I talked to her about it, and she said, "Well, I knew I could do it." She just had that confidence. In her Broadway debut, she had Cheryl and I were there. It was a big moment in the family. There she was. She had a good scene, she had to cry, and our seats were close enough that near the end of the first act, she's crying, and I'm looking, and it's real tears here on Broadway. Wow, that's really something. And I look over at Cheryl, and Cheryl's kind of like this. And I thought, why isn't she emotionally involved in this?
Yeah.
I am. So at intermission, I said, wasn't that amazing? You didn't seem that knocked out by that. I was just blown away. And she said, are you kidding me? She pulled that every day of her life when she was 17.
You've directed Tom Hanks once again. You've directed him many times.
This is the fifth time.
Fifth time in Inferno. You guys are really good friends, good buddies. He's such a nice guy. And then he just did an impression of you on Saturday Night Live days ago. And I'm curious, did he ask permission first, or did he just go for it? Let's take a look. I want to get your reaction. You tell me if this is accurate.
With your host, Ron Howard.
Hey there. Hey, it's me. It's Ron Howard. How cool is that? Huh? Pet bloopers just make me giggle. I can use a good laugh after working all day with actors like Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks, but what a pain in the ass. Okay, all right.
He warned me. He warned me, and this is an impression that he occasionally does. So I know what I know. But he's a great guy. He's unbelievably talented.
Very nice, extremely talented.
Would you say he's an impressionist? I mean, do you think that's any kind of real impression?
He got the jacket and the hat right.
Yeah. He got the jacket and the hat dead on. I will say, I don't think you do this all the time.
Well, thank you. Well, he heightened
You just did it. You just did it.
No.
You just did it. And you do it a lot backstage. Maybe he's mad at you. Maybe he's mad at you because when you see Inferno, there's incredible. I mean, you put Tom Hanks through his paces on Inferno. You put him, and there are scenes where I can tell this is not a body double.
Oh no.
You actually, at one point, you have him. Amazing scenes, but underwater, it looks like there's no other way for it to be anyone else.
Well, look, going back to Splash, he's good under the water. He's very game. He works hard. I knew he was comfortable.
It's on his resume.
Yeah.
Underwater work. Yeah.
But then, and he's, look, he's unbelievably cool. But we shot that in fact, on the last day of shooting, and we were dragging him under there, and he banging his head against this pillar, and it's a very, there's a lot of excitement and action in the climax of the movie. And he did pop up, and he said, Ron Howard, professional director, saves the stuff that can kill the star to the last day.
And?
No, he lived through it.
Yeah. But does he have a point? Do you do that on purpose?
Absolutely.
I love having Ron Howard on, but the danger is he's so foul-mouthed.
Oh.
He's just notorious in the business. You're just an animal. I've been talking to you for, it's been like 20 years now that I feel like I've known you. And you always look pretty much the same. You haven't changed in a way that I find a little bit eerie.
That's okay.
Have you ever had a period of your life where you just fell apart that I didn't know about? Because I'm rooting for that to be true.
No, it's already happened. It could happen again, though, so
Good.
Stay tuned. But no, there was a period I went and shot a movie with Peter Jackson called King Kong down in New Zealand.
Yes, yes.
And I really got into the Hobbit lifestyle when I was down there. A lot of mutton, a lot of beer, absolutely zero time at the gym, and I got really tubby.
You got tubby.
I got really tubby, and in fact, when I came back to the States, I remember my dad said to me one day, he goes, hey, when you have a moment, I'd really like to talk with you about something. And I got kind of freaked out because normally he doesn't preface a conversation.
He'll just say what he's thinking.
Yeah, and basically he says, we need to talk. And I instantly got very scared. I said, oh, okay, what is it? He goes, I want to tell you, as an actor, I want you to know, you're a little tubby right now. You're a little out of shape, and you might want to think about getting into shape. And I had sort of come up with this excuse because I'd taken another job that was a little bit more dramatic, and I was playing sort of this dark, kind of scary guy, and I sort of used it as an excuse to just keep the tubby thing going a little bit more.
Right, right.
And so I told him, I said, yeah, I'm a little out of shape now, but it's really for this character. He goes, is that character ever seen in a skinny, is that character skinny at all in the movie? I said, no. He goes, no one's going to care. They're just going to think you're tubby. You should lose the weight.
Right, right.
And true to form...
Did you listen to him?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I kept the tubby on because I thought I was making this brave artistic choice.
Sure.
And then true to form, the first review said, Alone with Her, a dark psychological thriller starring an out-of-shape Colin Hanks. And I went, hey, you should have just said tubby. I mean, let's call it like it is.
You got to listen to your dad next time. Listen to your dad.
Yeah.
You are so fantastic and funny on Veep, and I feel like that's where I first started to, notice you, and I think a lot of people did too. You got a lot of fans from Veep, and some in really high places.
Yeah, a lot of nice positive feedback. One day I got a very nice letter from Tom Hanks.
A letter in the mail?
In the mail. Got home, there's a letter from Tom Hanks, and I opened it up, and it was the nicest, sweetest letter. It was I'm a big fan. I saw your work, and I'm a huge fan. Can't wait to see what you do. Next, I showed my friend Jamie. She started crying. She's like, "Oh my goodness!" I had it framed. I put it on my wall, just like this letter from Tom Hanks. So I was at the Critics' Choice Awards, and from across the room, I saw him in person, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" He was like, "Hey, did you get my letter?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Yes, I did. And I was like, oh, I didn't write back. I just got this letter and I just put it on my wall like a certificate of achievement.
Yeah. It doesn't occur, it doesn't occur to you that you got to write back, or you should write back.
You should, if you're a good person, you do.
Talk about killing Gunther. This is very cool. You
Thanks, man.
managed to get Arnold Schwarzenegger
I did.
to play the greatest hitman ever.
Yes.
And then I find out he wasn't your first choice, Arnold.
No.
First of all, because that's an amazing get. But then I
Yes.
find out, no, you had other people
No, we were
in mind.
disappointed with that get. No, it was foolishly on my part reverse engineered. We offered it because it's sort of this reveal at the end who this villain is, but it's hard to keep a secret when you have Arnold Schwarzenegger in your movie. But we offered it to Tom Hanks first and got, thank you guys. Thank you, pocket of cinephiles in that corner.
I like that they reacted to you offering it to him.
Exactly.
We said,
He said Tom Hanks's name.
But it got a very, very quick no from Tom Hanks. And then offered it to Bruce Willis, who considered it. And Bruce and Arnold share an agent. And the agent said, Arnold's looking to do a comedy. Would you ever consider Arnold Schwarzenegger? And I said, yes. Yes, very much. And I couldn't believe it. And it was so surreal. And they're like, he wants to FaceTime you. And I was at the offices at SNL, and his assistant picks up, is like, hey, I'm gonna hand you to Arnold now. And Arnold's sitting at a big desk, 3 times the size of this one. But he's smoking a cigar, and he's sitting in front of a 6-foot-tall oil painting of himself from his bodybuilding days.
I love that.
Pretty great. Pretty great.
If that's what I wish I had a giant painting.
A moon?
Yeah.
A moon?
A moon, I'm sorry. That's actually kind of what my upper chest looks like. I love that you came here tonight. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me.
Well,
Thank you.
I came onto your show to plug my appearance on your new show. It's going to be on tonight. Can we run a clip of our banter just for a second? And you just saw it
There you
so
go.
that worked out.
That was
worked
it.
out pretty well.
That was it. You know, we have a strong connection. You coined the phrase Coco.
Team Coco, that's
Team
me.
Coco. You did that, I think it was about 10 years ago now. It stuck. That was all you. It has followed me. It will follow me to the grave.
Well, it's because I couldn't remember your name. I know it started with a C and ended in an O. I don't know. But I was trying to work out like that fans can flash it to each other, like in cars when they're on the freeway.
Yeah.
They could just do Coco.
Right.
Coco. I thought at some point I could do Coco, but then it looks like Coco. And I didn't. It wouldn't spell right. And also, it is dangerous flash signs for youth gangs. Could cause.
It's also slightly obscene.
Yeah. You know,
Go ahead, try it out and see what people think.
Let me get this. You lost the band?
Listen, the band costs money.
Yeah. Andy is an intern.
Me, I'm on work release.
Andy has never been paid.
Somebody backstage told me that you were forced to play football against your will as a young man.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Well, I don't know if I would say that. I wasn't as into it as other people were. I'm a lover, not
What, you're
a
like the
fighter.
middle linebacker, and in between plays, you just lay on the grass and pull out your
I was the Ferdinand of football.
Yeah.
You were the sweet bull.
Wear your helmet backwards just as a joke because I don't care.
You get this reputation, which I'm sure bedevils you, but you're such a nice guy. And I have spent a lot of time with you, more than you've wanted. You are a very nice fellow, but I suspect... Oops, what are you doing? Are you new to show business?
No, I'm just about to storm off your show in a huff.
Part of the half-hour thing is you got to mic yourself.
Yeah, exactly. We're cutting corners around here. You know what? I'm just curious. I was bringing up, do you ever lose it? Do you ever get angry? Is there an angry Tom Hanks?
My saying is I don't like people taking advantage of my good nature. And when that happens, there's a code word in the family that when I use these words, let me get this straight. That means I've gone off. I've gone off the deep end.
That's sort of like, is that like dad talk? Let me get this straight.
Well, it's also for like, let me get this straight. You were supposed to hold this table, and we're 10 minutes late, and so you gave it away?
Right.
Let me get this straight. I try to use it in places where, like, look, those are uptown problems without a doubt.
Sure.
Yeah,
but if
I don't like that your example was about a reservation they didn't hold.
Yeah, but
I think it should have been, look, that spleen was meant for me. That's my spleen. Let me get this straight.
It was at Chuck E. Cheese, and we had 14 3-year-olds. It was a big birthday party, and they gave away our table.
Yeah.
Just because that person's name was Aloysius as well. You know, they have the names of the Aloysius' birthday. There were 2 Aloysiuses there.
Yeah.
Who knew?
You got screwed.
Yeah. But that when I get mad, I pull out the let me get this straight. Like if I have to let somebody go, like I will use the let's get this straight. That rug was given to me by the Dalai Lama. And you sent it in for cleaning? You're off the picture. I do that kind of stuff.
What an...
Yeah, you sound like a real dick, Tom.
Yeah, I was gonna say these examples are horrible.
Yeah.
You are digging yourself a terrible hole, Tom.
Nicest guy in show business, my ass.
Yeah. We lost Penny Marshall recently, and I know that you did brilliant work together, and you guys were close. And I was just curious if it must be. I'm sure this was a difficult time for you, but just got to be a lot of great memories.
Oh, nothing but. I mean, we're all time subjects, and you have to just kind of like bow in front of Providence. But Penny shot way too much on movies. Like we called it. Oh, we're making movies by attrition. Eventually, something happens, and you have to stop filming that day.
Right.
The sun goes down. You run out of film. The crew rebels. Enough. There would be times when I'm saying, Penny, can you please make up your mind about how many angles you want from this scene? Because we've done 312 takes. And she says, well, I don't know what I want. I don't want to know.
Right. Her mouth never opened when she talked.
Anybody could do an imitation of the dear Penny by just clenching in their back teeth and talking. I don't know what I want. I'm going to be in an editing room in 8 months, and I'm going to say, how come I need a shot like that and I don't have it? You know why? Because I didn't shoot a shot like that. So shut up and give me a shot like that. But I love that lady, and we all miss her.
What are you insecure about?
What am I insecure about?
Yeah. Is there anything? Because I would think you've had such success. You're
what am I self-conscious about? Well, like you, a squeaky voice and a big ass.
1 out of 2 ain't bad, I gotta tell you. I have a squeaky voice and absolutely no ass.
And what I wouldn't do for absolutely the A-N-A. I would love to have the absolutely no ass.
I have my ass. It goes in. When others go out,
it's concave.
It's concave, and I can keep little figurines in there.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Spare change.
You just tuck your wallet on one side, your phone in on the other.
I got a glass of water in there at all times. I can whip it out. Yeah.
I've got a butt that if I have like 3 Oreos, it just expands before your very eyes.
Wow.
So I got to stay away from
Let's
that.
bring those Oreos out. I want to see this.
But the worst thing is the squeaky voice.
Yeah, I hate my voice.
And when you get excited, like this is one of the reasons I don't like to get mad, because when I do, it always just becomes, let me get this straight. I automatically come off like I'm, getting hassled on the bus on the way to junior high school. Hey guys, come on, that's my lunch money,
I get real angry. I noticed you have this obsession on Instagram with lost gloves. And anyone who knows you and follows you understands that there's something going on with you and lost gloves.
Well, it's lost objects, but it started with lost gloves. And first of all, there's a story behind them all. What happened? What happened to its mate? How did this glove get lost? Is someone going to keep the other glove at home on the off chance, or they're going to pair it up? It's a little bit of, Romeo and Juliet kind of quality to it.
You're saying there's a little bit of a hint of sadness to these. It's like it's telling you a tale, but you don't know what the tale is.
They're all bittersweet city adventures.
Let's take a look at some of these. I want to put this up. This is one you took, and
yeah. Now
tell me what's going on here. What is this so evocative to you?
Well, first of all, I don't touch them. I just see them and I photograph them. So I have never.
You don't want your DNA on those.
Well, it could be a crime scene, and let's not give the cops a break.
It feels to me like they went down into that door somehow.
Well,
and they were grabbing on, and then they were sucked in, and the glove is the only thing telling you, this is me, I was here.
That's funny you should say that, because actually that's upside down. It was a glove stuck to the ceiling, and that's a great... No, I'm joking. That's exactly...
You just blew so many minds here, and now they're like, oh, that's not fair.
Like one of those Escher paintings.
All right, let's look at the next one. You have so many stories behind these.
Oh, and now look at this. Okay, I'm not bragging, but that's my shoe. Because I had to get... And what is it?
You aren't bragging.
Yeah, you really aren't.
Southampton.net. And doesn't that almost look like an obscene gesture?
Yes. Close.
It's like someone was trying to make co with their hands, but they got screwed up somehow.
I don't think that's what happened.
And now look at the hints there. First, it's like a felt glove or a fleece glove, and you see the detritus of autumn there.
Yes.
The fallen leaves that is next to it.
You're a poet. You really are a.
Is that like that?
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a I think that's a Doc Marten shoe that's right next to it. So again, I didn't touch it. I just saw it, and I said. Now the problem now is that people now know that I am interested in lost glove photos. And I think I've been set up once.
You felt like this one, I think, was a setup.
Now, come on.
That doesn't look real.
No, I know, and I fell for this. I was in a great Mexican restaurant in Baton Rouge, and I came out. We were heading out afterwards, and I said, "Oh my God, the parking lot! Oh my God, a lost glove! This is my thing." And so I took a picture of it, and I posted it almost instantaneously. And then I said, "Wait a minute now." First of all, it looks like an ad for Chevy.
By the way, if I could just take a second, the Chevy Silverado is in it. It's really, I think, pound for pound, the best pickup available.
It's the J.D. Power #1 in its class, Conan.
Guess who's we're each getting free Chevys now because we worked that in. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So there was also something about, Baton Rouge was so warm at that time, there's no reason anybody would have gloves on their hands. So I think someone saw me eating Mexican food, chowing down, and then ran out, found a glove that they actually kept in the glove compartment of their car.
Oh.
And threw it out there as bait to see if I was going to fall for it. And I did, and I posted it. And before I got in my car and went back, I went back into the restaurant and said at the top of my lungs, "Let me get this straight! You all know I'm here, and you think I'm so dumb that I'm gonna fall for the fake glove spit?" And I did! And my voice went way up. Everybody laughed, and that was that.
Well, if we've learned one thing, it's that you have a lot of time on your hands, Tom Hanks, for a man as successful as you.
Hi, my name is Tom Hanks, and I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
You feel blank.
I love it. You don't even give hint words. Could you just put adjective in there in parentheses or something like that?
What's wrong with that?
I feel blessed to be Conan O'Brien's friend. I feel old. What year did the first year I was on SNL and you were back in, we called
1988.
I called you the Boiler Room Boys.
Yes.
It was you and Odenkirk and Smigel in the back.
The guy back in the day when I was working at SNL who was Money in the Bank and still is to this day was Mr. Tom Hanks because he would show up and
caffeinated.
There were the caffeinated, ready to go. Hey, everybody, what have you got? And I remembered coming out once, and I swear to God, I think it was maybe 2 a.m. Most hosts, they hang around a little bit, they sense,
the sadness, the desperation. They smell the odors and they leave, and then they come refreshed at read-through. I came out and there's this giant, in the conference room, there's this big table, and you were sitting there and you had been working on your own idea.
Oh, God,
and you were lying on, they had shoved all the tables together. You were lying on the tables like Christ with some pages over your eyes because you were trying to catch a couple of winks before you woke up and got back to writing at 3 a.m.
I'd always heard that was the great power of the hang, that you got there and all night Monday and all night Tuesday. You're going from, now they kind of like take the hosts around and the usher, but I want to get in there and mix it up, because here's one thing I learned about maybe the third time I did the show. There is, you say, hey, you're the host. I say, hey, I have some ideas for some sketches. And every writer goes, well, that's just great.
Oh, my God.
You have ideas that will rob us of the opportunity to get our ideas read. How wonderful. And I would like to say, I don't think, you then learn that, look, you're the host. Concentrate on the monologue and then walk away. But it's a great hang, man. Everybody's carrying on. And
it's amazing to me that, again, I've had this experience at The Simpsons. I've had it at Saturday Night Live. I've had it places where I worked there, and as I left, thought, this probably has a little bit of time left. You know? I remember thinking that at The Simpsons, like, this is going great. I bet you they got a couple more years, but I think I'll step off now and get it. Or the same thing with SNL. I remember thinking, this is great, but the idea that when I got there, I get there in '88, I'm there only 13 years after it begins.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at the wall, and it's black and white photos of Aykroyd, Belushi, and it looked to me like Civil War photographs. It looked to me like the oldest.
Daguerreotypes.
Yes, like, oh my God, the olden times. Now, if someone says, hey, let's look at Conan's first year, 1988, as a writer, that
looks
is on a
ancient.
giant 1.5-inch brick
Yeah.
that someone has to put into a machine they don't.
There was a period of time where to watch TV, you needed a $8,000 video deck that had more moving parts than the cars we drove to Conan Land today. Absolutely. But this remained. I went to the Joni Mitchell Jam at Hollywood. My wife Rita was singing along with everybody, and I sat next to Fred Armisen. And we compared notes on how many, listen, I'm a guy who grew up in a house without any women. I know 4 Joni Mitchell songs. They're going to sing 32 of them tonight. I'm going to love it. It's like going to the opera. It's great. But I asked him, because I completely appreciate it. I'm an absolute fan. But I asked him that question that I always, you're trying to say, like, anytime somebody has retired, I said, when you left the show, did you know that it was time to leave the show? Or, 5 months later, do you start getting cold sweats at the same time you got cold sweats? Do you start writing things? Yeah. And God bless anybody who is a really great thing. They said, no. After all my time there, it was time to move along. Because I come from that school of, you do not walk away from a gig. If they are inviting you to come and be funny, make sandwiches, sharpen pencils, have an idea, I don't walk away from that gig. But I guess after a while it devours you, and you got to go along. Or did you get fired, Conan?
Leno came and took my writing job at SNL.
Yeah, did you get this? Here's a note from Lauren. Let me open it up. Conan, thank you for all your service. We're not going to.
No, I burnt out. And Lauren could not have been nicer. I said, this is a couple of years before he contacted me about the late night show, but I was burnt out, and I said, I've got to go. And that's when I went to The Simpsons. I wish I could go back in time. People always say no regrets. I regret
nothing but.
I regret
being so intense about that job.
Yeah,
I was
you guys
way
were,
too. I
yeah.
was way too intense, and I think I robbed myself of some fun that I could have had. I did have a lot of fun, but I think I could have had more fun, and I think I could have maybe written there a little longer if I didn't make it such a grind for myself.
Well, people have asked me what is it about, and I think the creative atmosphere of that is the writer is on the floor producing the piece, and that's not standard stuff. A guy who wrote it with great passion is over there in between sweating bullets and vomiting out of anxiety. He's telling Sting how to do a comedy bit, say, could you make, but I think that's the great power of it. You get to produce the thing that you wrote then and there.
The thing that Lorne does that's brilliant, that I didn't exist anywhere else. I'd only worked about 3 years in television before that, but no one had let me near anything. You get to SNL, you write a sketch, and Steve Martin's going to be in it, and Lorne says, well, go in and tell Steve how it should be done and what you're thinking, and then go and talk to the props people about how the restaurant should look. And I thought, I'm 26. I've never been to a restaurant. I don't know. And I remember Lorne once saying to me, what restaurant are we in here?
You bought fast food, but it's sort of actually sitting down.
Remember you did a sketch that a couple of us did called Mr. Short-Term Memory.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so we wrote the sketch, Mr. Short-Term Memory, and Lorne called me in and he said, what restaurant are we in? And I said, what do you mean? And he said, are we in Orso? Are we at Elaine's? And I don't know what those are. And I said the worst thing you could say to Lorne, I said, it's a restaurant like in a Carol Burnett sketch. Immediately, 9 assistants took me out of the room.
Wow.
Lorne was immediately anesthetized.
Not that she isn't a legend.
I just thought restaurant, like big menu. Okay. Snooty waiter.
Now, by the way, you do have to learn how to survive physically when you do the show. And the last time I did it, I told everybody who was in charge of me, particularly our wardrobe and stage manager people, I said, I want you to understand that my goal on this week's hosting duties is to take as few steps as possible. So I am going to come here, and I will get dressed. And where can we get dressed next time? Because I don't have to walk all the way back here. I'm going to take as few.
I've noticed that you were sitting in most of your sketches.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that as much as possible. Because look, it's a young man's game, and there was a time that you just, it's just balls to the walls, and you just fill up every minute with activity. No. Take it easy, Tom. Remember this thing in show business happened.
This thing of ours.
This thing of ours. When you didn't have to drive to a studio and work with the segment producer and have your bald spot covered and, wear free clothes that, Xenia is giving you. And then you had to go. And then you didn't have to do that anymore because you do a podcast from your house with a decent microphone.
Yep.
And now we're back on TV.
Yeah.
Without Silas, I appreciate that.
We keep talking about this, how I started this 5 years ago because Adam said, do a podcast. And I said, why would I do a podcast when I've been on TV for 30 years? We start doing it as a joke. It becomes big. Then they start to say, is it okay if we put cameras in there? And I said, fine. And then they said, is it okay if we occasionally do 5 a year in front of a live audience in big theaters because people like it? And I said, okay. And then they said, is it okay if we add a band? I said, you fuckers, we're right back.
And listen, we're going to need a warm-up comic.
It's going on NBC.
It's going to be on NBC at 12:35.
It is.
All right, I want to make sure I get you out of here because we have a lot to.
I got plenty of time.
I'll give you a ride home. I know where you live.
By the way, have you been to Conan's house?
Yes.
We have competitions in the neighborhood. Who has the longest house? Oh. You mean as you're driving up the street, which house takes the longest to drive past the start of the property line and the end of the property line?
And you guys each think it's your own?
I think you've got like 2.5 miles of property line.
I do. You do. A Cessna can land, and a Cessna has landed.
Now it used to be, Jerry Lewis used to live on the block.
Did he really?
Yes, yeah. I won't say. I won't. Are we on yet? So
No.
okay. So I won't say what the address is. But at one point we were at because I saw this old thing and I ran. You meet Jerry Lewis and you think, first of all, that's a surreal experience.
Yeah.
All into it. So, hey Tom, my God, Jerry knows my name.
Isn't that crazy?
And I saw the bosom buds. And. And
why can't we use this?
You can. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. We're using it.
Okay.
And I said, is it true or not? Did you live in our neighborhood? And he said, the number of the house. And it's a brick, red brick white house. And it is almost as long as yours is. And I just think, because I saw this, he was really into like making home movies and stuff like that. And he used to do kooky things. And I saw this one thing. Tony Curtis and Janet Leigh drove up and did kooky things on their lawn as they were coming into a party at his house. So how's that for a neighborhood? Right?
He would
that
make
ain't bad.
films.
Yeah.
He would make films. I mean, going back to like the early 50s, he would make films with all of his friends.
That's right.
And but I didn't realize he lived in our neighborhood.
Right there. And he had a radio station, and I think he had restaurants and stuff. He had a podcast for a while.
A true sign.
Very early version.
A true sign that it's over.
I was out once, and by the way, you find this thing. I was at like a thing. They were showing one of his movies, and we all kind of like went in order to vet him, celebrate him a little bit. And someone got up, he had a question and answer, and somebody asked him about the video tap, the world famous video tap, because he was directing movie. He was one of the first guys to star in and direct his own movies. And he had to have a video tap, meaning that he was the first guy to put a TV monitor matching what the camera saw. So there was a cable coming from the camera and ran into a TV, and everybody thought, this is amazing. He said, it was, but I didn't tape. What do you mean? Well, I had no playback. I just had to look when I was doing the thing with the stuff, and it looks good, and now let's do it. But then I do it, and I couldn't see it until the dailies. Next part. And I said, actually, now, if he had invented videotape, he would have gotten the Nobel Prize along with everything else. He would have got it all. Jerry Lewis. How did we get talking about Jerry Lewis?
What do you mean, how did we? You.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's the neighborhood.
Yes, we live in this neighborhood, and I take a hike. I sometimes go by your property.
Right.
I've thought about there's a wall.
Yes.
I think I could get over that wall.
You know what? You could so tall. You might be able to crawl through the razor wire if you know how to do that.
You scared the hell out of me. I was on a bike with a friend of mine.
right.
We won't get into the exact, but taking a bike ride with a good friend of mine, Brad, and we're going up this. Yeah, maybe. And Brad Paisley. Suddenly this car, like kind of a Jeep SUV thing, starts coming, and all of a sudden the window comes down, and you lean out the window and start yelling at me.
I yelled at
and
you.
You start doing some bit, which was really funny, doing a bit, and then my friend was like, "That was Tom."
It happens all the time.
But you know what? It was like laughing, like your head just came out of a
knock knock.
Yeah, or it was like Batman when he was climbing up the side of a building and suddenly a window would open and it's
It's Jerry Lewis.
It's Jerry Lewis. It's Tom Hanks. I thought, I live the most amazing life where a darkened window can come down and a goofy Tom Hanks can pop out and yell at me when I'm on a bike.
But think about everybody else, because on that, there's a lot of people that come there to walk that it's a long line, and they're all kind of like bicycle weenie geeks, guys with $6,000 mountain bikes saying, on your left, as they're going up and coming down. But they're going to see you. I mean, you're as tall as Big Bird, for crying out loud.
know.
And they're going to say, I believe I saw Conan O'Brien struggling up the hill.
Have you heard that halfway up that ridge, there's this place that apparently in the late 30s, you probably know about this, right?
Absolutely true.
In the late 30s, some people who were pro-Hitler and pro what the Nazis were doing.
So Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
They,
as a lay historian, I'll come in and get the record straight.
Okay.
When the time
They weren't
comes.
members of the party.
There were people who were sympathetic to that cause in the late 30s before America was in the war. And they purchased a piece of land. Am I correct?
You are correct, sir.
That they thought would be a place that the Fuhrer would like to hang when and if he comes to America, maybe because he conquered it. I don't know the whole story. Do you know the story?
It was owned by the German Bund. And there was a period of time, a German Bund. The Bund was essentially, hey, we're all Germans. We all live America. Let's form a fraternal organizations like other nationalities do, you know. And I'm going to hope that before they found out just how bad Hitler was, you know, but I swear I have seen photographs of like a 4th of July in the 1930s up there with a fireworks thing. And they would have, no lie, a picture of the founding fathers and a picture of Adolf Hitler, an American flag and a Nazi flag, the German Nazi flag. And they were saying our country is coming back, et cetera, et cetera. And I just hope that maybe you can get away with that in 1930, you know, but it continued along. And in fact, it is now a scout camp, or it had been for a while. And I have gone there to scout a location, and there is like the main lodge, you know, there's tents and stuff like that. But there is a main lodge that honestly looks like, you know, a German Alpine chalet.
Yeah.
That all you have to do is paint it red, put a couple of Haken cruisers on there, and you are right back in Naziville, USA.
So this is a place that in our neighborhood, you go up there's this big hill and
Did I say Jerry Lewis also lived in this neighborhood?
And why did you choose to live here, sir?
Listen, we have these meetings that are none of your business.
Right.
No, but this was my story, which is that that was something I've always heard, and then occasionally you'll find that it mentioned that this piece of land lives, and that maybe, and some people get the story, they get it wrong, and they think that Hitler spent time there, like in his board shorts, looking out at the Pacific. You know?
He did come out for pilot season 1 year. And he needed a place to stay.
6 pilots, didn't get one of them.
Not a one.
It was almost a 7th friend. But anyway, but I'm with my friend once, my same friend Brad that you saw. I'm grinding up that hill on our bikes to just try and get to this. It's very steep in parts. We're grinding along, and then these 2 women, like blonde, 22-year-old, I swear to God, wearing like bikini tops, and they just looked like they were just come from a sorority party. They flag us down like they were in trouble. And I said, what is it? And they went, do you know where the Hitler camp is?
Yeah, there you go.
Where's the Hitler camp?
About that.
And I went, oh, ladies. Well, all right.
Wow.
Like, God, he's
Still pulling in the trim, that Addie Hitler. My God.
Jesus. Still pulling in the trim?
I know what?
Jesus.
Wow.
Jesus, Matt.
Wow.
Come on.
Now we are making light of a very, very dark period, without a doubt.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, you don't want to say, wow, really? Yeah. Come on up. How do you get to Conan's house? Oh well, if you've gone too far, if you hit the Hitler camp,
right.
Make a U-turn at the Hitler camp.
When you get to the Mussolini cul-de-sac,
yeah,
take a left.
Yeah, right past a tiny triangle. But yeah, that's up there, and yeah.
I'm going to switch gears here a little bit.
Let's see how you do this.
And I want to talk about the Japanese and Jerry Lewis and 1944. You worked with all these directors, Spielberg.
More than once.
Yeah. But you've worked with all these iconic directors and Ron Howard and Zemeckis. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And Nora Ephron.
Worked with her 3 times.
You've gotten to a point where, is it possible for you, Tom Hanks, to be intimidated by a director on the set, but is that going to happen now?
The first 3 days are 3 days of terror because it's a combination of everybody else who was there, and also just on the 3rd day you realize no matter what the movie is, you realize I should have said no. There just should have been something wrong with the I don't know, because here we are. The intimidate. I will look. I've done this long enough, so I now am aware that I intimidate other people. Because you show up and then somebody says, "Okay, I'm ready. I'll tell you this story. Okay, here's a show business story. We are shooting perhaps the most scary, intense, truly scary, intense, real life scene in Captain Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
We are honestly, we're overweight, old, middle-aged guys." Who are going to be taken over by these pirates. And we have never met the guys who play the pirates. We don't know who they are. All we know is that they are coming, because the way Paul Greengrass shot that, he had cameras on us and cameras on the four guys, Barkov and Abdul and Big B, Little B, all the guys. And we have never met them. And they are firing automatic blanks, machine guns. We hear all this stuff that's going on, and we don't see anything until the camera outside the bridge of the Maersk, Alabama. We see the camera backing up with the guys pulling the cable, and then four of the scariest human beings I have ever met come in, and they are screaming at us, they are slapping us, they are hitting us, they are pushing it down, and they're holding. They're real guns, they're holding them in our faces, screaming at us. And it was, honestly, we are all bug-eyed with some form of terror. Even though we know it's a movie, that is removed because guess what? We all went there, all right? So we're all there. This initial scene went on for about 20 minutes because Paul does this thing where he has a secondary and third cameras that don't start shooting until later on. So film is always rolling, and then one camera will go quickly reload and then join back in the scene. So this is going to
got to stay in that space.
We are right there because the camera's on us and it's working. So four of the skinniest, scariest looking guys, their eyes were all bloodshot. They all had this teeth. They were all built like wires. They had muscles like rope. They're dressed in rags, and they're holding AK-47s on us, and they're screaming at us. And it went on and 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 on. Relatively unrehearsed. When it was finally done, Paul says, all right, okay, all right, that went well. Why don't we, we're all like this. And we said, why don't, if we can, what I'd like to do is just take it back and come back in. I said, okay, yeah, all right. Okay, good. And then one of the actors, Mahat was his name. Mahat says, I can't believe I'm working with Forrest Gump.
He just tried to kill you.
So a countenance, right, comes along with the whole bit. And once we got that done, we were just guys making a movie. It was fantastic. But that's an example of, there was a moment where you have to do all this suspension of the reality of what it is, and all you can do is go there.
The only thing I have that is that I can relate to that's a little similar is for years, occasionally we would have a band on like Slipknot for the first time. Guys with skulls, and they would come out, or a band would come out, and they were literally like blood capsules out of the mouth and fierce. And the song is just like, and then I'd come out and I'd say, we'll take a break, death kill, murder baby. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. And I would always be a little intimidated because I'm in a suit. Yeah. I'm the late night host. I'm the game show host. And I'm just saying, okay, we'll take a break. And these are the guys that are from Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. And the person would always go, just lovely meeting you. I really enjoy. And it's just got such a nice sensibility, and you're like,
Slipknot,
I can't handle that. I can't handle the psychic break.
This is why so many of us go stark raving nuts.
Yeah,
because that surrealistic divide,
yes,
between why you are there and what are you creating, it's too malleable after a while.
Yes,
and yet it starts. And it finishes within the wink of an eye. It's that type of thing where the massacre is over, and cut. and all the dead guys start getting up and moving around, you know, and you move on and you get the other shot. It's. I wish we could just keep it all secret, like the Coca-Cola formula. I wish we didn't have to remember. But I don't watch movies that I'm in because they haven't changed since I saw them, so I know how they end. Right. But every now and again, like you're blowing through the grid or something like that, and a minute comes on or a scene comes on. And what I remember is what happened just before we shot that scene. That's all I can recall. I'd look at it. I don't remember doing the scene per se, but I said, "Oh, it was cloudy that day," and I dropped a script in a mud puddle, and then that's all.
And then I had some flan.
Yeah,
and then it was time.
Yeah,
to go.
what did we have? Oh, you know what? Somebody made Reuben sandwiches that day. that was really great. Oh, I remember craft service made Reuben sandwiches that day. Yeah, and I think it was Annie in the accountant department's birthday, and so we all sang "Happy Birthday" in the catering tent to her.
There you go.
There you go. That was that day.
Just before we started the podcast, we were chatting, and you were talking about how both of us having highs and lows in our career. And I was thinking, I know what you're talking about, Tom, but no one thinks that about you. I think you have the career.
Well, let me just, I printed up my IMDb.
Okay.
Now, you notice I'm almost to 100 films here, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting up there, but I'm going to say.
Really crinkly paper.
I'm going to say, well, coming out of the printer. I'm going to say, see it out all these. I'm going to say 6 of these are pretty damn good. The rest of them are checkered. It's all a checkered career.
Well, it's no one here is buying it. Nobody's thinking about the time when you were down and out, because I don't think it exists. I don't think that's ever existed.
Oh, well, okay. First of all, everybody wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes splashes cold water on their face and asks this question of the zeitgeist: what is happening to me? Why can't I rest? Why am I tormented and haunted? Yet again.
That's your mattress, I think. Yeah.
But, okay, look, without a doubt, I really dig my job, and I go into everything with an insane amount of enthusiasm and faith in the
famously so,
faith in the collaborative process. And it is I don't want to overuse sports analogy, but it really is the baseball analogy. Ted Williams hit 400 for one season of his baseball career. And that's about the best you can do. If you're somewhere between 282 and, 3 something, that they will put you in the Hall of Fame. And the thing that there is nobody starts a movie and says one of these two things: this ain't going to work. No one says that on the 3rd day of shooting.
Right.
We have made a terrible mistake. None of this is actually thing. All these people that are getting paid are liars. They are no one says this.
Right.
Nor does anybody say on the 3rd day of shooting, "We're in clover, boys."
Well, that's because it's not 1940. This thing's aces, fellas.
Hold on to your quarters, Jasper. No one says this. Roger Spottiswoode, who is about as facile a filmmaker as we were shooting Turner and Hooch, and this was back when I really put an import on the reports. You wanted, like, how's it going? Great. Oh, we saw this and it was great and that was great and everything's great. How about that scene and how that was it? And Roger Spottiswoode came back from looking at dailies one day at lunch. And I said, Roger is English, and I said, hey, how were the dailies? And he said, they were not half bad. And that's all you can shoot for. How was it? Well, I don't know. Maybe I hope it'll cut. That's all you can hope for. And so at the end of the day, the thing that is now an advantage of is I talk about this sometimes with people who are as old as I am. We got into this. I'm going to tell you a story about technology. Speaking of 1-inch VHS cassettes. The in between the 2 years of the bosom buds, the VHS machine was invented. The first season was in 1980. And in 1981, you could go to Mad Muntz's or, something, and for $4,000 buy a video cassette machine, right? Mm-hmm. And that altered absolutely everything. So as of episode, 22 of Kip and Hendry's adventures in Bosom Buddies, everything has since been rentalable, and it sits there forever. So I have had and now, of course, you can watch a movie any damn time you want to. I can't tell you how often I've been somewhere and someone will come up to me and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Hanks." Yeah. Oh, hi. How are you? I just want to say, your films have always been a great salvage for me. I've really enjoyed many times. I've turned to you, and I was home at one point and came across and saw a film that you made in 1993 that really spoke to me. You played a Air Force pilot in World War II. In Israel, and I had never heard of the film before. I didn't know it existed, but I really enjoyed it. And I said, that movie was called Every Time We Say Goodbye. It was directed by Moshe Mizrahi, and I made it for about 8 weeks in Jerusalem long before the Intifada began. Very good, sir. And I also enjoyed Toy Story very much. So all of this stuff lives. All of this stuff lives. And now what happened is that time has become one of the metrics for how these things matter, right? Yes. In the day, look, it was just a fist fight. It was every movie came out. Are you going to make the playoffs or not? And guess what? No, kid. You're 2-12 and you ain't going nowhere. Or you got a shot. It used to be you had these Rubicons that you crossed when you came down. First of all, do you love it or not? That's the first thing. Hey, I read this thing. I love it. I can't get it out of my head. Yes. Okay. You have crossed the Rubicon. Rubicon, right? The next Rubicon you cross is when the movie is completely done, a year and a half later, and you see it for the first time. And you might like it, or it doesn't matter if it works or not. You look at it and say, hey, I think we acquitted ourselves pretty good. That's Rubicon number 2. Then the critics weigh in, Rubicon number 3, and that's always up, down. We hate it. We like it. This is the worst thing. Oh, hey. Oh, hi, Tom. I saw you in a movie. Oh, did you? Yeah. It was cute.
Yeah.
That's when you ask the wife, hey, honey, could you take the revolver out of the glove box and hide it somewhere? Because I think...
this is Saving Private Ryan. What I think is cute.
And so then, but then this other thing is how it does at the BO, how it does at the box office with a bona fide. Then a ton of time goes by when none of that stuff matters anymore, and the movie just exists exactly as it is, outside of loser-winner status, thumbs up, thumbs down. And that's when this stuff comes around, where it's like that this thing that didn't work back then kind of does work now, or just the opposite. A thing that was huge back then is a museum piece and doesn't really speak to anything.
That Thing You Do.
Oh, yeah.
You were disappointed when it came out, and it has this whole other life now.
It is.
It is this cult classic.
Okay.
But that's an example of...
Let me tell you something about these cocksuckers who write about movies. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a podcast.
My father writes about movies. And his name is Cocksucker. Somebody who wrote about it is that this is just, Tom Hanks has to stop hanging around with veterans of TV because this is just like the shot on TV and it's not much of anything, Mm-hmm. That same person then wrote about the cult classic, That Thing You Do. Same exact person. It's all you need is 20 years between now and then, and it ends up speaking somewhere. But that's the thing we all signed up for. That's that's the carnival. That's the contest. Right? The big question would be: you talked earlier about how you're hesitant to watch your own work. Sitting and watching this movie for you is watching you at 17, 67, and everything in between. Have you had that experience yet? Are you prepared for that experience?
I've seen just enough of it, and seeing me at that age, it has finally answered the question for me, which is no wonder I never got laid.
The original title of the film. Well,
I mean, I had a lot of energy, and I was loud, and I could make you laugh.
Well, you just describe anything. I've occasionally been forced to look at myself from 1990. Every day of my life was televised from 1993 until about. And I'm not happy with any of it. And I always watch it, and I look at my wife, and I go, "Why?"
Well, so what we did actually have to examine this probably more than you ever do on a movie, because we had to literally go right, and we had technicians that were looking at our skin and stuff like that. But we also had to look at the timing and the cadence of what it is, because I don't know what the actual name of it, but there is a factor, I can't remember what it's called. We thought that we were speaking in a very realistic cadence. And then we would go watch a playback, and it was as slow as molasses being poured. It just took forever. But I would say, it's like the cinematic time slip. It seems like it's fast, but it plays in real time. So that's one of the things we discovered about it that didn't make it any more fun to sit there and look at ourselves dressed up as we were.
It just occurred to me, I know that I've talked to you, and you've several times where you've slipped into a Ron Howard impression. You've destroyed Robert Zemeckis' career.
And yet he comes back for more.
Do you? Is this happened? Is anyone who directs you, is liable to be impersonated by you?
Some are a little, some I guess are.
I don't even know what a Spielberg impression would be. I don't get a sense of him.
This would be. Oh, I don't care what you say. On every movie I've done, I think I've worked with Steven 5 times. Let's see, Ryan and The Terminal and Catch Me If You Can.
Bridge of Spies.
Bridge of Spies.
Yep.
Is there another one in there? I can't recall. Is there another one in there? That's my IMDb. And he always does this thing. I wake up and I see, Steven uses the screenplays of Steven's movies are the most basic blueprints. They are not the Rosetta Stones. They are not like set down. So it'll come and there'll be a lot of dialogue, and you do this and explain this, and you get there, and I'll go. They say, "Oh man, there's an awful lot of stuff in there. I think I'd like to cut that. And I'd like to cut that. And I'd like to cut that." And then I get to work, and Steven will say, "Okay, here's the shot. We're going to start here, and the camera's going to be right here. We're going to be following you, and you guys will be saying all your stuff right there." I said, "Well, I was thinking that maybe we don't need all this." "Oh, I don't care what you say." I now the last couple of gigs. The last couple of gigs that I've had, I said, when everybody is in town, we did this on Bridge of Spies, and also, mostly just on Bridge of Spies. I said, look, we'll get together with all the guys. Oh, we did on the Post. We did the Post together. Did the same thing with the Post. Get everybody together, and we'll read through some of the scenes, and I'll just explain. Say, listen, everybody, there are some days that we will come to work and we will have all of this stuff memorized, and we'll be hot. We will have read through it. We'll be prepared, and we will get to the stage, and Steven will have done all that work for us. We don't have to do anything except inhabit the space, because Steven is telling the story from the cinematic perspective, where the camera is and what he's doing. It's not even going to matter. But then there'll be other times, my friends. when we will show up and we'll know it all, and we need to know it because we have to get there. When we shot the stuff on the Gleinica Bridge, on Bridge of Spies, which was the real place where the spies were exchanged, crazy. We were freezing to death. It was very, very cold. And Stephen came up to us and said, "Hey, I hope you guys know all your lines because I haven't the slightest idea how we're going to shoot this." and I just turned to all the guys and said, "What did I tell you?" And then he's the most malleable guy. Well, what if we stand here, Stephen? What if we come out here? What if he comes out? Great. Oh, that's a great idea because they're not going to come. And then he's very excited about all that kind of stuff.